Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. How we doing, gang? How we doing tonight? Let me just get the right scene. Great. How's everyone doing? Hope you're having a great Wednesday filled with Riftbound and whatever. Did your guys start having Nexus nights? It's not started yet in my city, the city where we live. But like I've heard most people have started having Nexus nights over and like 20 plus people event and stuff. So how is it going? Do you have some in your city? Sorry, hope everyone's doing great. Hope you're having a great Wednesday wherever you are. Maybe it's just getting started. Um, but like, hope you're doing great. Hope you're having a great day. We will start with opening this little box as an appetizer. And then we're going to talk competitive Riftbound as usual. So you guys starting to know me, know the drill. Hope you were also there this weekend to appreciate that Shangai Nationals that was such great Riftbound being played. So just to give you a quick heads up before we start, this is my play binder. So basically it's let me just show you. Right, perfect. This is like common foil, common foil, common foil, common foil, and so on and so on. I have most of the cards in the game available as 3 offs up until rare. I have all rares as 3 offs. But I don't have, so these are like alt arts, right? So like I don't have any of the listen alternative cards, but I still have 3 off Lee. Like if you dive in there are 3 of them, right? And so the point, the goal, whatever you want to call it, for this box is one, to fill up some of these missing spots. Ideally in the epic range, like I only have 1 MF, for instance, which is a call that I would like to have 3 off. So ideally to start filling up these spots in the epic range, pull runes, because like I only have about 2 to 3 runes for most colors. I only have like 3 colors, blue, green, and purple, that I have as more of. Like my Yasuo rune deck is looking something like that, and I have 2 more chaos on the way. So like it's now 3 outs for chaos and 5 outs for green, and I still need 1 more green and 1 more chaos to like make it full. But like most of these spots are like kind of fields aside from epics. So we are looking to fill up more spots with epics, and also to drop some of these alternatives that I did not have yet. So that's the first goal of this box. And the second goal of this box, and like, for fuck's sake, please be better than the fucking seal case that I opened, which only had 1 fucking overnumbered legend, and that fucking legend was Victor, which is 40 euros. Ah! like I spent 700 something euros in a sealed case to pull worth than anyone on Twitter that opened like 2 boxes. So please do better. I'm hoping we can, like, this is not from a case or something that I know about, so this is completely random. I have no idea regarding ratios for this box, but I'm hoping we can get something like better, and maybe another number would be great. I've updated the wishlist right here. So you guys can see we have alt runes in there. We have over numbers, those that I like. We have those that are valued. And regarding the rest, I did not update like every alternative that I did not have to like put it in the binder. But I would be happy to pack some foils. I'm still missing some foils. Like I don't have foil ballista. I don't have foil Sandisk. Foil unlicensed. These cards I don't have. So I would love to have them to fill in those spots towards the master set of things. And then, well, I'm still looking for runes and some outs, like even cheaper ones. Like this Yasuo I don't have. I would love to have it. I'm certain 100% affirmative I will play Yasuo at some point, and I would love to add this Yasuo to my collection. And whatever. So as you guys can see, we are still missing some cards. Some of them were also taken away by a friend that is a Nari player and wanted to have a full on foil deck. While I'm more of a common player, because as you guys may know, foils tend to bend over time, and like it's a pain for deck checks. So I'll be playing commons for sure, but that does not mean those outs, those cool outs, should not be in the binder. So how about we start opening that box, and then we are getting onto the main talk of the night, in which I'll be bringing Randy. You guys may know Randy from like Twitter. Let me just show you his picture. Or maybe it's no, it's okay. It's okay. We can do this. I was thinking maybe it's a pain, but no, it's okay. I can just do this. This, and this one. Yeah, perfect. So Randy is that little penguin on the right that you guys can see. And maybe I should just over myself. Yeah. So he's that little penguin on the right that you guys can see. Is a kind of known right now competitive player, training with some of the best. And he also happens to be an IRL friend of mine that I met up before that whole Riftbound thing started. Playing One Piece, I think actually. I think we were both playing Yu-Gi-Oh, but we did hook up on One Piece. And so we already did a few things together, and now that we are both doing Riftbound content, me more on the content side of things, and Randy more on the MetaFi side of things, so like guide and stuff. We are going to have a talk with him about Shangai. What did it change to tier list? Any changes to the power ranking? What we are looking forward as to potential format evolutions, and so on and so on. Results that are biased, results that are something that we can consider as a potential trend, and so on and so on. So it's going to be a very interesting talk. Actually, we're probably also gonna go over some of the lists. Not sure that Randy can share all of his insights, but I will share mine. Don't worry. And that's about it. Yo, Papikawa, how you doing, brother? Yo, Storm. Yo, Storm, how you doing? So let's get started with this box, and we pray that it is better than the case that we had, because the case that we had was... I prefer not to talk about that. If I speak big trouble, as per a wise man's words. So, let's go. Actually, Robala said yesterday on stream that there were for sure at least one hit, if not more, in the first 4 packs of the box. So how about we open these 4 as a starter and see if we indeed do have a hit in there. Because, like, not sure about that theory. I'm happy I have a starter victory deck and 1 booster inside. I'm happy. Yeah, starters are great products. If you are looking to getting started with Riftbound, starter are definitely great products. So we are going to skip the commons and uncommons. These I have a playset of each, so no worries. Now we are looking for alternative and foes, because like I already have playset of all of the rares available in that game too. So strength, then Mozart, and then we have our first epic of the night. So 1 hit in the first 4 packs. That man did not lie. And it is a Seal of Focus. Not one of the best, but not one I had a playset of. So this one we take and we sleeve. Here we go. First epic of the night. Great. In the first pack too. Alright, perfect. Then this is trash. Oh no, this is not. I thought this was for sure random legend. But like Warcamp as a foil? Okay, we take that. We take that. Still looking for foil battlefields. I think I already had Warcamp, but I clearly don't have all of them as foil cards. Gorov, Ravenbloom, and then Bill. Oh, so it's a boxed pack with 2 of these foils. I think I only had 2 of these, so rather happy with completing the playsets. And then we have Kerchus and a room. Yo, Dork Sponge. How you doing, brother? First time in the chat, nice to see you here. So let's dig in. Okay, shh, don't scare the signed card. Don't scare the signed card. Don't scare it. So, comments we don't care about. Yeah. Yeah! Yeah! Okay, challenge as a foil is actually a pretty good start to a booster. I think I only had 2 of those. Then it's Firebrand. And then... Oh, alrighty, regular Yasuo it is. Regular Yasuo it is. We got baited, chat. We got baited. We got baited real bad. It's K. It's because it's in this booster. It's because it's in this pack. Don't scare it. Don't scare it. Shh. It's because it was in the next pack. It just wanted us to wait a bit. Alright. So uncommons we don't care about. Conduit, I don't think I have as a foil in a playset right now. And Train the Mirror. And then is a regular Victor. Oh, come on. Stop baiting me. Stop baiting me. With all due respect, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is kinged. You were one-eyed among the blind, and now you are one-eyed among the seeing. With all due respect, I hope you understand why. Is this related to the banger tweet that I dropped yesterday? Did you guys see the tweet? It was actually banger. Did not get so much clout, but it was actually banger. Because I think one day with my Time Warp praise, I will be that like prophet who once was a fool will be my title. Because like I'm pretty certain, like as of now, the only like points being advanced to me as to why you should play Time Warp is play the game more. But I don't think like theory-wise this is something I want to care about. What could this be? Oh, I already have this one and it's not expensive. Well, it's okay. It's beautiful. It's still a beautiful quartz. I guess it's okay. It just will never be as good as the red one, but like, it's still a beautiful quartz, and I probably will be able to trade it for cheaper outs that I don't have yet. Alrighty, so Yellow Darius as our first overnumbered card of the night. Alternative, Showcase. What's the name right now? It's like just alternative, right? I think. These we don't care about. Bomb, bomb, bomb. Unyielding. Trove. Ooh, I might already have 3 of these, but cool cards to have as a foil. Then Oud. I wanted one. Alright, I already had one of this. But it's a second one, and I love that card. You guys may know already, but I do think it's one of the my favorite cards for sure, and one of the most beautiful cards of the set. So we are now something like what? 5 packs in, 6 packs in, and we are on 2 overnumbered and in epic cards. Pretty cool. Wish you success in English. Thank you, Storm. Thank you, brother. Thank you. So, Airy and Darius. Well, to be fair, both of these are beautiful. Like, they are actually beautiful. It's just that they are on the lower side of the play rate, right? But these, both of these, are really, really cool looking. That's for sure. What? I think I saw something at the bottom of the bag, right? Ooh, 30 bucks. I know this one. This guy is named 30 bucks. Okay, so this one gets a sleeve because like expensive. And then this one I saw. This is a card I did not pack yet. So we are off to a 6 start with Watcher and now Showstopper, a card that I did not see yet. Great pull. Great pull once again on that Showstopper. Pretty cool. Pretty cool so far. So this is by far the best rare you can get in terms of value. And since I have all of these as a playset already, I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to get those that are valued on the market right now, right? Adeptitron, I think I have this as a playset. So now I definitely have this as a playset. Ravenborn 2, and then we are on a Chaos Rune. So most of these like common packs, if we don't have a foil that I don't have yet, I'm not like looking for anything right now. Oh, we have another legend here. Come to me, overnumbered. Come to me. Wild Claw, Zaunit, Breaker. Then we have a C3. I think I have a playset of this one. Then behind is a Leona, Radiant Dawn, a Kiana, and then we... Oh! We pulled Body Rune. What a start. So we are on 2 alternatives and 1 alt rune. I think like this, thank you for the follow, Randy. What's a support? We are scheduling live streams and you are not even following. What a friend. You don't need enemies when you have friends like this. You guys can see what's going to happen later on. So we got the Body Rune. Alrighty. We have 2 alts and a rune. So right now, we either don't have anything else or another rune or a legend, I think, is the pull rate. I think when you're on 2 alts, you don't get a third one. But I might be wrong though. Do we have legends here? Nope. No legend in this pack. This or nothing we are interested in. Misfortune. Then behind we have Mage Seeker. Ooh, Last Breath. I only had 1 of these and I intend on playing Yasuo, so pretty happy with that Last Breath. Pretty cool card to have once again. I think this is definitely a strong card, especially because like you pay 2 power to activate it, so you have a shot at not getting defied, and that's particularly strong in the current metagame. So I think this card could see play at some point if Yasuo becomes a great deck. Which is not the case as of now, but not so far neither. Just a 1 or 2 extra good cards, and then this I don't have as a playset, I'm certain. Then Progress Day, then King's Edict, and a normal rune. Did you guys have the chance to open... Oh, cool legend. Did you guys have a chance to open some booster boxes yet? Or was it tough on you guys? And if you did, what did you pull? Because I pulled from a full seal case. I pulled... Oh, this is a great rare too. This is money. Then Airy. Then Kaisa. Oh, Jinx. Ooh, I only had 1 of these. Pretty good cards. I think this card just as Yasuo has potential to be like heavily played at some point. We just need a bit more of great purple discards. Like so far we only have the Traveling Merchant and the spell that for 3 you discard your whole hand and you draw 4 and your opponent does the same. Like these are the actual 2 ways to discard in Chaos. But if we get some more discard cards, then this might be good. Because as I was saying, I opened a sealed case and got only 1 legend out of it. So somewhere in the words, someone got a bugged case with 3 legends, and 1 of them was mine, and I made them a gift. Oh, great, great. Foiled battlefields, I like that. So I'm hoping they are happy with the gift. And I'm hoping it was not a signed card neither, because like, I'm a generous man, but I have limits to it. So buffs we don't... I think there's something there. I think I flopped and there's something there. What could that be? Grabber, Vengeance, then Merchant again. Ray as a foil. I think I only have 2 of these, so great. Then Kog'Maw, and then behind is another epic in... Ooh, what a box! What? This is valued at something like 30 bucks. So far we have 30 bucks, 30 bucks, box. Like these are not boxed though. But like epics and rares are treating me nicely so far. Pretty dang nicely. I mean, outs are a bit on the cheaper side though. Rich French guy opening cases, I see. Bro, I went out of this case completely broke. Like, only Victor? Not even as a signed card? Come on. Come on. 3 cases and got exactly what you got so far, lol. In one of them. Yeah, that's pain. That's legit pain, bro. I mean, I'm fine with like bugged boosters, but bugged cases, like you spend 800 euros or something and you don't even get your ratios? Nah. Seals of Trance, alright. Another epic cards. and then just a chaos rune. So what are we on right now? We are on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 epics. So subsequently we have put all of our epics. And then we are on 2 outs and a rune. But there are still a lot of boosters left. Like, how many is that? We still have 9 boosters left. So is there nothing in these 9s? Or is there a little something extra? I would hope for a little extra. Like a little... Nah, it's too early in the booster for it to be an alternative, I think. I think it's just a regular legend whenever it's in the first foiling spots. Or... Oh, Warrants? I think I already have this one as a foil one. Then Blitzkrieg. So it was a battlefield, not a legend, actually. Blitz, Brinier, and a common rune. You'll get volley? Bro, I would be down for like overnumbered volley or... Oh, well, once again, it's too early. I would be so down for overnumbered volley or signed volley, because like, better one bad legend than none, right? This I don't have as a playset, I think. Well, bro, you called for it. You literally called for it, and he answered. You called the god, and he answered your prayers. You could feel it, right? Right in the next pack, huh? You could definitely feel that. Alrighty, Back Alley, Whirlwind, Pit Crew. I already have a playset of this one, I think. Then Mutation, another epic. White Flame, ooh, it's a good one at that. So we are on 7 epics. What's that about? Are we making it up? Are we making a comeback? Because 7 epics, I think, is above ratio, so must be a bug somewhere, no? I think you are supposedly getting 6 of them. I mean, not that it's a big deal, like it's an epic card, right? But still, getting on the favorite side of things for once feels great. Turner, and then we have a normal rune. So all of these, like, you might be like, oh, this guy is not even having pleasure opening. Like, I am having pleasure, but like, I already have all of these as a playsets, rares and below, so don't mind me skipping through the rares. Arrowing, then Feefolk, and then a normal rune. Feefolk I only had 2 off in my case, but I managed to grab an extra one. So we have like 4 packs left with the one I'm opening right now. Here we go. Time to pack the luck for something like another numbered. So Fight or Flight as a foil, great. Fading as a foil, great too. And then Shrine, not so great. I think the worst card in this pack was the rare one. Even commons are probably better. Then we have something, but like, yeah, it's a foil battlefield for sure. It's too early in the pack, or even not like foil, right? Yeah, not foil. Floodgate, Blastcone, Splitter as a foil, and Kane as a rare, Ari as a rare, and a Cameroon. 2 packs left. This one is nothing, and then we are calling for last pack magic, okay? Like, this one is nothing, for sure. And then we are praying for last pack magic. Sundisk, Catalyst. This we have cool foil cards. Oh, sorry, Mundo. And then behind is a Fiora. Last pack magic. Please, 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 please be something good. I think this display is actually decent. Like, Watcher's Star, White Flame Rain, probably make up for the price of the box, or close to it. I think this box was one of these I ordered in the early days. I think it was 120 or something. So we don't have another numbered legends. So we will be stuck at 7 boxes opened and only 1 other numbered legends. Great ratio, lol. Great ratio, by the way. So block, pick, then is disintegrate, and then as wares we have Rasha, Shrine, and a common rune. So that's it for that box. Well, actually, it was not one of my worst ones. Like this, and probably like this is a few bucks too. And like these, I like. I add a rune, and I add two chords I'm probably playing or at least like trying. So yeah. This is a decent box in terms of value. It's just like not so shiny, right? But still a decent one. Pretty happy with what we got. So as I told you guys, this was only the appetizer. Though. If you are here to watch some opening, I suggest you try and see another rebound channel. I think most people are doing opening this day, which is fine. Like the game is releasing. I will just be stocking this away, and then we can go Randy and we can start on this night's main topic. So let me just sort these empty packs out back in the box where they came from. Here. So I can just reorganize the setup and then we are talking competitive formats. Which is a big deal tonight, right? Showstopper about 30 pounds is money though. It's definitely money though. So 2 extra boosters. These I think we don't care about, but I'll sort them later. These we will keep them. Oh, we still have cards here. So I messed up, right? This lives here, and these are commons, right? Yeah, perfect. So this is trash too. This is trash, and then this goes here. All right, great. So let me switch to the correct scene, which is this one, I think. Am I wrong? I'm not. So this one, and let me just switch this from this to this, and then from. Okay, so I'll just switch right here. Don't worry. I'll be there in a few seconds. Oh, also I need to wear the headset tonight. Maybe I just drop off the hat. Like, it might be hot under there. This, and this. Great. Let me just update the camera, which is not working for some reason. Why aren't you updating there? Oh, because this one is bugged. Okay, great. Now it should not be anymore. So I'll just toggle this off. And then I can get you guys here and it should be working properly. It's not? Why aren't you? Sorry guys, trying to fix the camera. Because you guys could see me before, right? So you should be able to see me now. Like, it's like now you see me, now you don't, but supposedly you should be seeing me. Okay, so no camera now. What for? Because I'm not here, okay? But I should be. So if I do something like this, whatever. Huh. Aren't we lagging here? Oh, you guys are having ads, so it's okay, I guess. I have about a minute to find the proper solution. Does this one work? Why would you not? No, it's not. So let's just do this then. This, then we go there. Sometimes you got to find workarounds, and then there, and then paste. Yeah, great. I did upgrade a bit of. Oh, my bad. Sorry. This. Okay, cool. And now let's just be smaller. Oh. Okay, perfect. And right now I'm in the middle. Let's just bring this here, and then unplug this one right here so I can see my screen. Because like whenever the camera is on. Okay, perfect. Perfect, great. Let me just hide this, and we are calling Randy. Mm-hmm. Here, so you have a full screen, a proper one on stream, and I'll just call Randy. I think you guys won't have like the sound of me calling. Hey, brother, how you doing? Yeah, I will share the screen. Don't worry. Great, perfect. I did not. By the way, I should open your beta for rights. Metafy. Yeah. I think you should talk about who you are. Maybe they know you already. I think most of them should know you if they are into competitive content. You are one of my favorites. Like if you look at my stream, you have me, and then you have you, and nothing else on Metafy. Mm-hmm. Not like you jumping on the stream and following as if you never went there. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right. So everyone, please in the chat welcome Randy. So just I tell them who you are and you correct me if I'm wrong, okay? So great, perfect. So you are Randy EE or just Randy? Randy. All right, so you are Randy, former competitive player on several TCGs, including Yu-Gi-Oh!, One Piece, Lorcana. Played in top majors in most of these, or all of these maybe. And now you are focused on Riftbound, preparing for Houston, and trying to win it all, in which I think you can succeed. And you also are the owner of the Price Cards Hunters Den, which is a Metafy community on which you publish guides, one of them being notorious as the best Kaisa guides out there, which I highly recommend. And by the way, we are going to give away one of these tonight. So, like, if you guys want to have a warm welcome and a shout out at Randy, feel free. Did I miss anything? Yeah, I forgot to say you are toxic though. I forgot to say you are a toxic one. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Can I give them a look at the free one where you are talking? Mm-hmm. Because the guide is amazing. I read it myself and it is actually amazing. If you guys in the chat want to like have a non-biased opinion, it is indeed amazing. I don't like you, you're just good at code graves. And by the way, what you are seeing on my screen right now is the free version. The paid one is even better. Mm-hmm. Hours for sure. Hmm. Yeah, this is a cool part. Oh, you. Oh, wait. Someone is telling me they don't have your sound. Why is that? Oh, if I do this, try talking.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Oh,
talking now.
might be
Let's
better.
see if
Might be better.
okay if we can't hear me because
All
that's gonna
right,
be
great.
weird.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. My bad. My bad.
Okay, so basically I'm gonna go back. Okay,
Yeah. Do it all
so
over again.
I
Do it all over
played.
again.
Yeah, okay, we do rewind. We're on. So basically, I make guides, mostly. So far, it's been going pretty good. People like them. I always make a free version just because I want people to have access to like all the info for free. I don't want like all the stuff to be gate kept by money. I think if you just want to learn a deck, pick it up, start playing it at locals, maybe use proxies. I know a lot of locals are allowing proxies. You can go on MetaFi, check it out. The articles are pretty thorough, even the free parts. You'll get everything you need to just learn the game, like some of the basics, learn the guide, what each card does, why we're playing them. I don't want to just like hand you, oh, take this deck, let's go to locals. I think that's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to explain the decision behind what we're trying to achieve with the deck and just like help you get better,
For
basically.
this edition.
That's what I'm trying to do there.
All right, great guides. Also, something that you mentioned when you were muted, but I did not mention again. I think it's really important, and also something that I did not know was possible. The paid version, sorry, has votes included, in which you play the deck and you like quote unquote cast the games and like go through the decision
Yeah,
making. I think this is very useful. Like you have the theory, and then you can jump directly into like games and see how it applies to real matches. So
yeah. I
this is very pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, basically, I reviewed like some tournament games of tournaments I did. I go over why I make decisions, maybe some mistakes I did. Uh, I mean, I like yapping, so I'm gonna review one game of the best of three, and it's gonna take me 20 minutes. I'm gonna draw arrows on the screen, explain to you what you're trying to do, bait the opponent. Yeah. If you want to get better, if you want to win your skirmish, I think the name is called, and you play Kaisa or Master Yi, highly recommend. It's gonna be worth it. Win the If the Trindamir is expensive, it's gonna be worth it. If not, well, unlucky. You just gave me money.
The
Thank you.
Tryndamere. Oh, the one from the
Yeah, the
skirmishes?
Trindamir for the skirmish. Yeah.
You think it's going to be expensive? I don't think
I don't
so.
know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was fairly expensive. It depends on how many are given out.
Oh, I hope
But
not.
yeah,
I hope not. So I'll share you guys' Randy's X in the chat, so you can go and by the way I will pin it. You can go and drop a follow. We are often interacting on Twitter, and funnily enough, this was the backstory of how this stream started. Cause like, okay, so we knew each other from like IRL playing One Piece, right? But like, we were not like close friends or something. We just like were acquaintances, if you will.
yeah. When you
Uh,
were a store owner, we had a friend with a store
yeah,
owner in
exactly,
common. So
exactly. And so like, I tuned in with a MetaFi guy, and this guy is like, you should check out Randy, and I'm like, okay, I'll check out Randy. And then someone else talks to me about a guy making content, guides and stuff, which is pretty good at the game, and they say it's Randy, and I'm like, who the fuck is Randy? And so I check his Twitter, and I see his face, and I'm like, well, his name is not Randy, but I know that guy. And so we started, like, I reached out, we started interacting, things went smooth, and then I posted my very own tier list, power ranking, if
which
you
is bad,
will.
by the way. Which is bad. This is wrong. This is not the good tier list.
We're going to debate that later on. So this was my tier list for Shanghai, and like set one format because like Shanghai does not change anything to what we knew before. We are just going to talk aftermaths. And so this was my tier list, and Randy quoted my tweet and said, "Can't wait to watch it to criticize it." And I said, "Well, maybe we should do this on stream." And so we are finally doing it. And also, we going to be using this opportunity to talk about Shanghai, lists, trends, what went well, what did not, and so on and so on. So a bit of a big all-round format talk. And also, we are going to be debating, which is something I love to do, and I hope you guys love to hear us do. So, will be a cool stream if you're into competitive rebound. Hello, Selenia, welcome to the stream. So, Randy, first and foremost, Kaisa won this Shangai regional. We know you are a big Kaisa player, probably the decks you played the most, probably the best Kaisa guide out there, at least in my opinion, it is. Is there gonna be a vote without muted ports due to music available? Oh yeah, so the vote is not going to hear the music. I do have a trick up my sleeve. So like if you listen to the vote, there's no music out there and you can hear us both perfectly. Supposedly. So yeah, sorry. Talking about Shanghai, is there anything you would want before we dig into like the entire report of like average players and stuff? Is there anything you would want to mention regarding the format in Shanghai? Kaisa winning, is it a surprise? Yi being still there, is it a surprise? In my opinion, nothing too surprising, but like feel free to start.
So if I was going to Shanghai initially, but basically the Chinese regional, they don't let you buy the spots immediately. You need to enter a raffle on like one of the Chinese apps, and if you get picked, you can enter the event. So I entered. There were like 4,500 people, I think, something like this. I didn't get picked, so I didn't book my tickets.
So
yeah, 2,000 player picked. Yeah, so half of them. So I didn't go. If I did go, I would have brought Kaisa. So I think that was the best deck going into the event.
Yeah, probably.
I think Kaisa needs more reps. I think if you're not good on Kaisa, you should be playing Master Yi. I think Master Yi is better for most people, but if you're really good at Kaisa, you should be able to outperform the Yis.
Alrighty,
that's
so
my opinion.
Not too surprised about the top cut that we see. So as a reminder, here on the screen you have, oh, I should switch sides. Give me a second. Yeah, I just get there. So here on the screen you have the total number of each player for each deck at round 1, day 1. And then this one is how many decks for each legend in top 128, I think. So we have basically almost all of it, and to give you a bit of a deeper insight on what happened there, in top 16 I think there were top 8 was 4 Yis and 4 cases, so 50-50, and I think top 16 was something like 8 Kaisa, 7 Yi, and 8 Timo, right? Before he got
it was
good.
10 Kaisa, 5 Yi, 1 Timo,
yes,
which he did for cheating, but
so we could say like basically entirely Yis and cases.
Yeah. I think, I don't, first of all, I don't think they are the only 2 viable decks. I think you can play other decks.
Yeah,
I just think I think China as a whole has been liking to play this very similar decks. They haven't been taking too many risks bringing other picks, it seems. Like the big players in China, from what I heard through like people I know there, people who test with like good players in China, they all prefer to stay to and to stick to Timo, to stick to Yi, and to stick to Kaisa. They haven't tried that many other decks. So I think that's also a big factor.
Would you say Timo was in the top 3 before the event?
I think Timo and Annie are like the 3rd and 4th best decks. I don't know in which order. Okay. Because I've had more reps on Timo than Annie, but I know a lot of people think Annie is pretty good, and I don't disagree. I think Annie is decent.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
I think Victor is just... It's very overplayed in China just because it's extremely cheap. So most people who want to play on a budget just take Victor. It's way cheaper than the other 2 decks.
Also maybe Arcane and something like potentially.
I don't know. From what I heard most people who just play casually would play Victor, or Aura. If they have money, they play Aura E, right. And if they or like another Aura deck, and if they don't have that much or they don't want to spend that much money on the game, they will play Victor because it's like one structure deck and maybe like 30, like the equivalent of 30 euros to 40 euros in cards, and you have like a good meta deck.
All right. Can you guys confirm that the sound is better?
Okay, wait.
Like there's something about balance. Like they hear you louder than I am. Your voice is low compared to Randy. Is it better? It should be decent. But feel free to tell me if that's not the case. I don't have guesses.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna talk a bit, so we can compare.
Let's talk. You guys tell me in the chat. Anyway, I will just like try to update the settings as we are getting in there. All right, so your read is that what we say was pretty much what was expected. I would say the same, except for Victor. I'm still surprised. Like I know it's cheap and all, but like if you are ready to enter a raffle and like be picked in like 4,000 people and then like play a regional and you are playing yellow Victor,
Wait, let
uh
me check something for.
it's overall low, but now it's the same for both of you. But I'm already at full power sound wise, so that's weird. Like if it was like taking Randy down, I could do it like a lot, but I can't be louder though, and that's the setup I'm using like every time to stream, so it's weird. Maybe it's just like the difference that makes it that way.
Okay, let me know if I need to lower my voice. I
No,
can
no, I
probably
think
do
it's
it
okay.
a
I
bit.
think it's okay. It's okay. You'll put some. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Better.
So
Okay. Great.
one of the big things no one mentions, I don't think people know that, Chinese regionals entries are free.
Yeah.
So this was
Okay.
the first major in China. Other ones were like launch events, kind of,
Okay.
like not actual like big major. It was a bit different. The raffles were extremely random for the first events. There were like 3,000 people entering, only 500 in. This time it was like 4K, 2K in, but
Yeah. So
it's
it's still
free.
better,
You can
right?
just go on the app, enter, and if you get picked, you can go. So a lot of people just play casually, and if they're available that weekend, well, they go to the event. So that's
Yeah.
a big
Okay.
thing,
Okay.
I
Okay.
think.
It being free makes more sense.
Yeah, it's less committal.
That being said, this is something that I mentioned on the like stream before and on Twitter also. This would be very cool if we could have champ repartition too, because like if we're talking Kaisa, we know that it's red Kaisa for most of them, right? Yi is for sure orange Yi, but like talking Victor, I think if you are expecting a lot of Yis, Blue Victor is actually a decent call. Like not top tier, right? But like into Aurora's and stuff, it's like fairly decent. So I would be interested to like know if some of these people were on blue or if it's like 90 to 10 ratio of yellow victors and then it's just casual play. But that's something that
I
would
think
be
Yellow
pretty
Victor's
cool.
pretty good though. I just think Victor struggles into E. If it's not Aura, like if it's a normal E, I think Victor's just unable to win ever. Because every single time he puts a unit on the battlefield, we can't push it. Like there's actually no way for us to push it without a spell. And they have Defy, and we don't have that many spells.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
we
Basically,
basically can't win.
it's about getting there first, right? And then they commit and you smoke screen and stuff. But like once again, it's better with the blue version. So that would be something that I'm interested in. But like regarding Victor's conversion rate, it was pretty decent into top 128, which is kind of normal, right? There are so many
And
of the Victors at round one that some of them have to convert. But whenever we get deeper into the top, they all disappear. So we can
I
kind
mean,
of consider the deck as the failure we expected it would be.
so I saw some people, one guy with a Victor Raider posting like, "Oh, Victor bad conversion once again," and I was like,
Mo?
"Brother,
Are we talking
yeah,
Mo?
yeah."
Okay.
And I was like, "Brother, MF and Ozzy and Darius and Seth have worse conversions than Victor.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you
yeah.
go back to the first image, or if you go back to the
Yeah,
Excel
up
spreadsheet
that
that
one.
you had,
Yep.
yeah, we can see that Victor is 9% of the field and converts to 7%.
Mm-hmm.
So he loses a bit of representation, but it's not that bad.
Yeah, yeah, not
But
that
if we look at
terrible.
other decks like MF goes down is 6% and she goes down to 3.9,
So almost
which
losing
is
half.
worse.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's almost losing half of representation. So MF performed worse than Victor comparatively. And Set, I don't remember if it was Darius or Set.
Set
But
was
yeah,
almost
Darius
one
convert
out of one.
okay.
Like,
Okay,
yeah,
so that's
okay.
fine.
And Darius was whatever at the entry and whatever in top cut. So
Yeah, but
Alright.
it's too few to know.
So like not surprised about the formats and not surprised about the deck decisions from top players to more casual ones. Was there a specific deck that you were expecting to see like make a breakthrough? I know many people were thinking Annie would make a big breakthrough, and it ended up flopping, like decent still, but not like top tier. At least not as much as like I would say in people's minds and like from what I saw on socials, it would be like 2 to 3% at entrance and then like maybe 8, 9, 10% of top cuts. So what were your thoughts on this? Was there anyone that you were expected to make a breakthrough and they just did not?
So I'll go with what I was not expecting to see do well. I wasn't expecting Set to do well. I think Set is kind of shit. I
Alrighty.
wasn't expecting MF to do well. I think MF is bad. Unless a lot of people brought Aura E or like other Aura decks, because I think MF just beats those decks, but everything else she just loses. I wasn't expecting Ari to do that well, and I was expecting Timo to do okay.
Okay, which we could say did is almost like
I think it's still. I would have expected Timo to do better than
to do
what he
better.
did.
Alright. Okay,
I'm
okay.
not say that, but it still did okay. But I thought Timo was gonna convert better. Victor, I'm kind of surprised it converted that well. I don't know what exactly was on the field, because I've had echo from top tables, but I don't know what's like all
So, like-
2,000 players were playing. I don't know how many Yis were there.
Yeah,
how
regarding
many-
Victor, someone in the chat is asking, what do you think about Control Victor? So we
I
were
think-
debating about that earlier. I think Blue Victor is rather decent if you are expecting a lot of big bodies decks and like not so many cases. Something you have to consider is Yellow Victor is Casino, right? So like if you eye roll, you win most of the matchups, and if you don't, you lose most of the matchups. The more of these decks, like Yellow Victor, Darius Hook, and so on, you have at round 1, the more of them are going to top cut, because like it's mathies,
Yeah,
right? It's like
but
10% of them will win because they will see stratagem every round in which they need it. And so like this has a strong impact on like getting to top cuts, but then we have to see like how do they convert when they are there, and they did pretty poorly. So I don't think like Victor is top tier. Sorry, you can go.
I think Victor is alright into Kaisa. I just think it's really bad into Yi. That's the thing. No
yeah,
matter
yeah,
what you
yeah.
do, you can't.
Yellow
fix the Yi
Victor is
matchup.
definitely alright into Kesa, but like Blue is terrible.
Yeah, but Blue is bad, and the thing is, Blue Victor doesn't actually beat Yi. I think Yi just.
I don't think it's as bad as people think it is. It's like really playable. Far
it's
from
playable,
like unplayable.
but you're still behind. So you are like behind into Yi, kind of slightly, but then you're like very behind into Kaisa, because Kaisa just outgrinds you because she has more draw power.
Yeah, you just beat a lot of these other
she generates
decks.
more value. Yeah.
Like you have a decent matchup into Yi, which is not the case for all of these decks, and then you just beat the other ones and you lose Art to Kaisa. In my opinion, Blue Victor is like Blue Ari but worse. That's
I think Victor's fine. If you want to play Victor, I think it's a good budget option.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. Now that the Kaisa who won was playing 2 Reigns, I wouldn't want to be a Victor player against 2 Reigns in the main deck. I won't lie.
Do you think it was a meta call to beat all those Victors?
No, I think it was. I think the Kaisa list that won was. I don't like it. I like a few things. I don't like a lot of them.
Okay.
I think they expected a lot of Yi. The list seemed prepared to beat Yi.
Yup, for sure.
I don't know the pairings he got, but I don't see how you win against a good Kaisa in the mirror.
I really do like these battlefields, though. What do you think?
I was playing Grove like 2 months ago when the game started, when Yi was like popular.
Yeah, okay.
I was on Grove a lot. I like the idea of going Grove because Grove is good for you into Master Yi, just because you have more removal.
Yeah.
And most of the times their units in the early game don't stick.
Uh-huh.
The issue is he played Grove but cut Void Seeker, which is kind of what I played Grove. I cut Void Seeker from the deck. I didn't like it, into Yi specifically. And I cut Grove because I was like, well, this doesn't really work without Void Seeker. It's like, it's worse. But maybe what he was doing is bringing back the Void Seeker, but then you bring back the Void Seeker into Yi.
Yeah.
And it feels weird. I don't know, but I think 3 Watcher is really good into Yi. I think 2 Reigns in the main deck is really good into Yi. Game 1. After that, you couldn't side them out. I don't know what his strategy was about that. So I think 2 Reigns is pretty good game 1. It's really not that great if you play into Yone game 2 and 3.
So actually, let's just jump into talking this list, because like you are the Kaisa experts out here, so rather interesting to have your stats. I'll just show it on screen. This is not something that I was planning on doing right now, but we could do it too. Great. So this is the list
go on the tweet. I'm gonna send you the tweet with like all the lists. If you go on the Rift and Runes,
I think
I
that's
think
it.
that's
No.
no. You have all the list. You have a tweet with like every single list on Runes and Rifts.
Oh, this one.
All the top lists.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
This
this
one,
one.
this one, this one.
We have like the. I think we have
Where
the
is
Kaisa deck as well.
Kaisa? The
Maybe a bit another tweet. I
yeah,
have
yeah,
it
yeah.
here.
Maybe I'm. But like we have it here. So no, you want that
Okay.
one? Okay, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So
with the
let's just
battlefields, I think you want it. I think
yeah,
the
yeah. Let's
battlefields are
just
interesting.
no battlefields there. Oh yeah, great, great points. So Kaisa is here.
Here.
Omega Zero.
Okay.
All right. So you were talking about a bit of like technical things. So this is the list. Just to give you guys a bit of context, this is the list from Omega Zero, which, to my surprise, I did not know that was an Hearthstone legend, one of the better players at Hearthstone in the past. Now, apparently, recently switched to Riftbound, and is doing well because he is now the first ever national champion for Riftbound. So, like, great achievement, right? My friend Omega, yeah, Omega, yo, Warma, Omega has done a tremendous job at having a cool meta read. Now, something that I want to talk about, you were talking about like watchers and stuff. I think one of the main surprises was like that Voidseeker out and that Rain in. There's something I want to talk about with an expert like you at playing Kaisa, which is these rains. While I was
So-
debating on like time warp being in the list or not, this is also something that we could talk about later on. But like, you guys already know my opinion, so I don't feel like saying it over and over and over. Just like this rain thingy, most of the time people are like, yeah, but if you manage to build a base, you win off time warp. And also my personal feeling watching games, especially that top 8 best of 3, Kaisa into Kaisa, so mirror match. Most of the time, the guy that manages to build the better base and force the opponent to blast first ends up winning that game. Like, this is from my experience watching Kaisa mirrors, because I'm not a huge Kaisa player. I feel like base is the most important thing. So don't you think that adding Reigns was also somewhat of a this is how people play the mirror right now, and I will counter them using Rain?
So yes and no. So the thing is, Rains are good in the mirror, especially when you don't expect them in game one. I think Rain are pretty good. The problem is, I think the Chinese players are extremely greedy with their lists. I mean, we're playing 7 2-drops. We're playing a shit ton of high-end like cards. So I don't know. This maybe Rain is necessary as a 2-off. I think it's extremely greedy to have 3 Watcher, 2 Rains, and 2 Time Ops in the deck. I'm scared to break if I see this.
Yeah, for sure.
But
And
I
it
think
did
it's good
break.
in the mirror. I think it's fine. You can clear the base as you said. The problem is Rain gets completely cooked by retreats on Darius because most of the time you're gonna Rain Darius.
Mhm.
And if they have like Darius and Student and they retreat, you're kind of cooked because Student is gonna survive. And Darius is back to hand and you passed your turn and it's better than losing, but it's not great.
Yeah. I mean, you could also say that you forced retreat before. That could be a thing. But like then
But
you
what does he force retreat with, right? He has
yeah.
no
That's
void.
exactly what I was about to say. You have to hide Void Seeker if you are trying to force retreat before using Rain. So yeah, that's something that's interesting to me. Cutting Void Seeker, this is something that like most of the time people are quoting me on Twitter regarding my time warp talk, and they're like, okay, you want to cut it, but what do you add? And like most of the time, I'm saying you should add Reigns in the main. You should add this third Watcher instead of Warp. But like this guy already has this third Watcher and already has the Rain. And so I was like, wait, what the fuck? Why did he cut? What did he cut to like reach that point? And then I noticed he cut the Seekers. This is something that I would have never have done myself. What's your thoughts on like cutting those Seekers from the main deck?
I've played no Void Seekers for Reflab Trials. I played
Alrighty.
0. No, none in the main, none in the side, and I forgot to put Time Warp in my deck as well.
Okay, so like
And it
just to
went
give
pretty
people
good.
a quick insight, the idea behind playing or not playing Void Seeker is that it's the worst card in your deck at being defied. So into green matchups, it's almost like they target this card, and whenever you use it, it gets defied. So like basically that's part of the reasoning behind it, and I would be eager to know your thoughts on like maybe extra points why you would not play such a strong card in the main deck.
I think the reason why they wanna like okay, let's see this. Let's do it this way. I'm talking about it in my guide. Basically, Void Seeker, Mirror, pretty decent, pretty good in some spot, not always. Into Master E, it's completely trash. Like you literally can't play Void Seeker into Master E. And if you play into any Aura deck, I mean Void Seeker is just
Yeah,
is
it's
dead as
terrible.
fuck. Like you're not playing Void Seeker. So I see why. I think he was expecting a lot of auras, a lot of E, and that's why he played no Void.
Uh-huh.
I also think that's why he added the third Watcher. I think Rain as well. Rain is extremely good into E game one. And Poro, he played only one Poro when it's a very good card in the mirror. And I think that's
Alrighty.
also because he expected a lot of E's and auras. And Poro is really bad into both of those. So I don't know what happened in terms of pairings. I would expect this guy to have faced a lot of E's. And I also know he was one of the very few X2s to make it into top, which is interesting. Because
Okay.
only 8 people who were X2 actually made it into top cut, and he was
So
one of
like
the
top
8.
128, right?
Yes, so
Yeah,
he,
yeah.
he was very low seed uh, in terms of like placement, but he probably lost the last round, I guess. So I'm really interested. I would be really interested in knowing the matchup because if he won into a lot of Kaisas, I think it's just because he played better, like he outskilled them. Because I think this list is just not good in the mirror.
Alrighty. So something that I wanted to talk about with you, I see a lot of people talking about like he's only on 7 turn ones off. By the way, thank you guys for the primes and the follows and all. I just don't want to cut Randy because it's so interesting, right? But like, thank you guys for the support from the bottom of my heart. So like, a lot of people are talking about cutting a turn one. So what you are seeing most of the time is 8 turn ones because of like methods of opening like some of them, but not too much. Basically, I could go deep in that, but like that's about it. He's on 7, which means that he has about 5% chance less of opening a turn 1 in his opening end
I mean,
if he deep searches for it through Mulligan. So do you think it's that big of a matter? Of course, you also have to consider that sometimes you need to open several of these, right? But since he's on the 3rd Yordle, do you think it's that big of a deal to lose like 4.5% chance of opening one? Or do you just think like it's greedy, but whatever?
I think it's greedy. It's really greedy because you basically don't see a turn one play when you go first 1/4 of the time if you play 7. And that's like saying you mulligan 2 cards every single time. And I don't think you want to mulligan 2 cards every game.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
There are a lot
talking
of
deep
hands you want to
mulliganing. Like
keep.
you have 7 as a starting set
I'm
sample.
playing a lot of. I think if we go to the last time I played a tournament was the trials. I think a few weeks back, and I played. Let me look at it. Which was, I think that's the biggest tournament we had in the West, the trials. So I finished top 8 with Kaisa, and I was playing Grove, actually, at the trials.
Alrighty.
I can send you the link so you can show it if you want.
Yeah, sure.
The list is trash as fuck. I don't know what I did with this list, but it's completely cooked.
Here we go. So someone in chat is saying the 3rd Yordle increases the going second win rate, and that's part of my point. I think 3rd Yordle kinda makes up for the like missing turn 1, quote unquote.
Yeah, but you see, in this list, I'm not playing Void Seekers and playing 3 Retreat as well, and
I should just
I
use
cut.
an image though. Yeah, go for it. Keep talking, don't worry.
Yeah, basically, the idea of playing. I think you can play the third order. I like it. I play the third order myself now.
Alright.
But even though we had win rate going second, we could play both. So I've well, it's interesting. I was playing kind of similar list. I forgot the time warps in my list. That's why there's not time warp. I ended up I had no only 1 or 2 smoke screens, and in the end I was like 2 cards short, and I added Mecha Mech and 1 smoke screen because I was like, what the fuck am I missing? And the tournament was about to start, so I had to give my list. But basically, I think you need the turn ones in the mirror.
Yep.
And I don't think you need them into Aura and such decks.
Alrighty.
Because his game plan into Aura game 1 didn't seem to be rushing them. He doesn't have the tools for that. He's missing too many units. So
but then
I'm expecting.
like you're
I'm
talking mirror,
expecting him to
right?
go for
But
value.
don't you think missing on a turn one, which is also something that I was wondering, missing on a turn one is like not so bad because okay, you are maybe 1-2 points down, but like most of the time, turn ones in the mirror are either getting X-Tech raids so they don't conquer, or traded by Kaisa Champion or Darius the exact second you tap all your runes. So like, is it that big of a difference if you have a turn one or not in the mirror
Yeah,
match?
it's in the mirror if you don't have a turn. So what's gonna happen is like if you don't see a turn one in the mirror, your turn two can't be Kaisa. Otherwise, she gets Falling Star and you lose
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you
for
haven't
sure,
played the
for
card
sure.
in 3 turns, right? So the big thing is if you don't have a turn one, the problem is if you don't see a turn one, that means your hand is full of like either big stuff or spells that you won't be able to use immediately if you're going first. If you're going first, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And the issue with that is the way the game is gonna go is you miss turn one, and then turn two, your only play is either gonna be Yordle if you were going first and that was your only like small card, or it's gonna be Noxus for 4 from your hands, or it's gonna be Kaisa from Champion Zone. And lastly, it could also be you top deck the turn one and you play the turn one you top deck.
Yeah,
Maybe
sure.
with Hopeful if you're lucky and had one back previously. But with this sequence of play, what happens is you're always gonna end up losing to Falling Star extremely hard.
All right.
Like no matter what you do, if you don't see a turn one, you're getting cooked by Falling Star in one way or another.
Okay, so mostly to play around 40 star, you need several of these. Interesting, right? So okay, we are. Oh, yo Leo, how you doing? So we are now done talking about turn ones. Just to give you a quick summary for those who just landed, because I see you guys are more and more each minute, which is cool. Turn ones are important to play around 40 star, but also this Omega guy, Omega Zero, only lost something like 5% chances of opening one while deep mulliganing, maybe 4.5%. So this is something that could be considered. I think we got that you were not in favor of that, but I think that was the reasoning behind it. So something interesting. At least we could say that he was trying to innovate and bringing new things to the debate, which I like. Like maybe not all of those are like great ideas that are going to stay in the metagame as like staples, standards. But like at least he was trying to think about every chord in his build and like having something that works all together. So I really liked the plan. I think his biggest edge on opponents was the game plan, and not like obviously the list fits the plan, but like I think his biggest edge was game plan. He was 100% certain of how he wanted to run the game, and even though he spends a lot of time thinking about like variables, he's always going for the same plan each and every game, which I think was his bigger edge. What do you think?
Well, can you bring back the list from his list? I
Oh
think
yeah,
that's
yeah,
gonna
sure,
be
sure, sure,
better.
sure. No worries. Where is it?
I hate looking at this mecha mech. That's why.
Where's it? Here.
Okay. So I think he, I think he had a fine game plan into Yi.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about the Kaisa plan though. That's kind of I agree with you until when we talk about Yi and Aura. I think he has a solid deck into Yi, into Aura game one as well because 2 time warp 3 watcher, 2 rains that's pretty good into Aura,
Mm-hmm.
especially because you have the 2 hold battlefields that you can get value from game 2 and 3. It's like the Progress Day and the Thermo
I
Beam
do
to
love the
counter Aura.
battlefields. I think this is like small detail, not a big comment into most matchups, but I think into specifically Yi and Aurora, these old battlefields are insanely strong, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I think that's one of your options if you play 2 Aura Yi is you can take your deck heavily for it, or you can play Battlefield. I've been trying both trying to like put more battlefields for Yi and Aura specifically, or more side deck. I'm not sure which one is best. It depends. The side deck is kind of valuable in Riftbound, but not that much in set one. We have space in the side for now.
Yeah, we.
Even though it's
To be
only 8 cards,
fair,
we
this is the trash part of the list, in my opinion. Like, I really don't like this side deck. I think like Smoke is interesting into specific matchups, but I think like Progress Day you will see once in every 10 games, so like whatever. Thermo Beam I hate as a court, Mega Mech as a one-off, I don't see the point. And like two Seekers, when you're not running them in the main deck, I can kinda get. But like also, why not three? So like this side deck is the part that I don't like about this list actually.
Well, the thermal beams are pretty good into ORIs specifically. Because if they have Zonia, you can actually like out both Zonia and the Aura at once. But they're not great. I don't think they make it like winning. Maybe with the star tip we can actually get like enough runes to both play the thermal beam and have like extra stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I hate Progress Day as a card in the mirror. It's really bad.
Just overall,
I
no?
hate.
Like as a card overall.
I haven't tried Progress Day into Yi,
Mm-hmm.
which he has been like doing. I saw him put the Progress Day in against Yi in the finals, which was very surprising to me. I can't say I was a big Progress Day fan in the start when like people played worse. Not that they're getting a bit better at the mirror. I think Progress Day is getting worse. But back then, Aura was like not non-existent, but way less popular with Yi. So maybe it's good. Maybe you need it for Yi mirrors, like for OREs. I mean,
Yeah.
if you have Progress Day and you have the whole battlefield, you can probably dig into your deck
Yeah,
enough
potentially.
to
Yeah.
reliably find like thermal beams.
But like it's still a one-off, right? You're going to see it like one game out of 10, and like does not have much impact.
I mean, not really, because if you mulligan and you also have like the battlefields that are digging and you have like all the cantrips and all that stuff, you're probably gonna dig. And if you don't see it, maybe that means you also saw the cards you wanted
Yeah,
to dig for with
potentially.
Progress Day,
Yeah.
right? You don't need to see Progress Day. If you don't see it, but you see Thermo Beam, well, you don't actually need the Progress Day.
Yeah, maybe. I see a lot of you guys asking questions regarding side decks. Coming from a TCG where side deck is extremely important in Yu-Gi-Oh! And having played also TCGs without side decks, hello One Piece and all, in my opinion, something that you should look for in your side deck is like quote unquote game ending cards. Like cards that are so strong into one matchup that whenever you see them, you are winning or like put into a very favorable spot. Because like if you're not running them in the main deck and you are running them in the side deck because they are overall good cards, like either they are on in your main deck and they are just good enough to be played, or they are not in your main deck because they are overall good but not good enough. And including quote unquote overall good cards in the sideboards kinda feels like a waste. So like if you consider that mech is especially strong into Aurora, which you could think is a valid point, then why not add like 2-3 mechs and then you see them every game into Aurora and you get a big edge out of it. Of course I'm talking mech, but that could be like potentially any card, Thermobeam, Progress Day, whatever. So this is kind of why I was on the back foot regarding this particular side deck. But maybe you have different reads into Kaisa side decking.
It depends. I think his plan, as I said earlier, I think his main deck is really targeting Yi and Aura.
Mm-hmm.
So his side deck is probably for the mirror. I'm thinking a lot of players in China seem to think that Progress Day and Mecha Mech are good in the mirror. I disagree.
In the mirror? Huh.
Yeah, because they think it's like big and you drop it and they can't out it, and so you just like snowball kind of like a Mundo but cheaper.
Yeah, but
I
then
disagree.
you play Fox and then Megamech is dead, no?
Yeah, but you don't play it on battlefields, right? You play it in the back in like one of the tempo turns, and this way you get like some
And then you get Rain to Doom.
tempo back. Like you lose some tempo, but then you actually just have a big guy sitting in the back, which some people think is good.
Alrighty.
I know for a fact a lot of like big players in China were like coping on Mecha Mech before the tournaments.
Okay. What do you think about
But
the cards? I think it's not good.
I think it's too slow.
Yeah.
I don't want to be. I think it's good if you go like it. Maybe we could play it against Aura when they play the
Yeah, but
Obelisk,
like there
when
are
they go
better
first.
cards.
So we go no, but like if we play into Aura one Obelisk, we can get to Mecha Mech extremely fast. So maybe it's decent, but that's it.
So the plan,
I think-
basically the plan into Aurora is mech plus Yordle, and then Yordle as tank, and so they can't kill mech with Dead Bloom. So that's basically the interaction that brought mech to light. But like there are so many better cards into Aurora that I don't think you should run this mech. But like once again, I'm not a big Kaisa player myself. I just have Mostly theory and a bit of games on my side. All right, so just to
I'm
close
gonna.
this out.
I
Oh,
saw a
sorry.
question
Yeah,
earlier.
yeah, go for it.
Someone asked about the battlefield order. In his deck, he is going Dreaming Tree game one most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Then when the opponent is going first, he's gonna play. If it's like a Master Yi, Ari, that kind of deck, he's gonna play Grove.
Yep.
So there are like 2 Groves on the field, and then going second start tip pick.
And so basically, his
Basically.
plan is I play 2 going first battlefields, but since I'm Kaisa, I can blast whatever enters them, so you can't hold them if you're into me. But then if I'm into slower, so they are like basically vanilla battlefields, they don't do anything. But then if you are into Aurora, even going second, these are crucial because you are going to be the only player having bodies on board for like 2 to 3 turns, and so you can proc them maybe twice for free, which is his plan basically.
Yeah, I mean the start tip is pretty good in Aurora because they ram, but you also ram for free.
Yeah,
So you can
even if you
actually.
rampy, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's fine.
Like
It's
they
fine
have
into
to
ramps. Yeah.
push early to get you out of this, and then you can just like raid the poros and stuff, and like it's good trades. Yeah, I kinda like these battlefields. Now, just to close this out, sorry, if you have anything else, feel free to interrupt me, right, Randy? But like, just to close this out on like Kesa, because this is something that I've already talked about a lot. Time Warp performed extremely poorly in all of the games that we were able to see in Top Cut. And by poorly, I'm talking it won 0 games and it lost like 2 or 3 just by like clogging the ends. So, like, I know you are a time warp advocate. I'm not going to be bringing a full on 1 hour debate. Could you give us your thoughts on playing time warp in cases so they also have the other side of things like you should play time warp for this reason?
I think if you're going to Houston, cut all the time warps from your deck. They're really not good. Please don't play them.
Ah,
If you're not, I can tell you the truth. Time warp is OP. Just run two. It's just if you have time warp in your hand and you play for like, you can get into so many spots where you just win immediately. Like you just drop one guy in the back and you have 5 points, and just if the opponent doesn't clear it, well, GG.
but don't you think
Like
that only
you
works
could be like
into
late in
worse
the game, and if
players?
you have 5 points, you can play Sentry in the back, and if it survives and is able to score once, you just instantly win. Because you go Sentry, go to 6, and then you time warp, go to 7, Watcher on the other battlefield, and it's just GG. Game is over. And you
Yeah,
played 1-2 drop in the back.
but don't you think it's only like in already favorable scenarios? Because like in most of the games that we saw, people are now getting used to time warp. They are not surprised anymore. They know it's there. They play around it, and so basically, either they have the out and they will find it because they are good enough to be in the top cut and they play around warp, or they don't have it and they would probably have lost anyway. What's your opinion on it like being good at closing game, but probably games that you would have won already without it?
If I could play 5 Watcher, I probably wouldn't play Warp, but I can't, so I'm playing 2 more cards to close out the game. Because the problem is, if you have only 1 Watcher in your game, like if you only see 1 Watcher in the game, you have to keep it for the last turn. But if you have Time Warp and Watcher, you can actually use both. So you have like 2 pushes. I
Okay,
just, I
so
mean,
it's
I
just
see
another
what you're
finisher.
saying with like the time warp being like a brick, which is true. But ultimately, even if it's bad in your hand, you can just play time warp for and basically draw 1 card for 1 power, right? You ram down 1 rune, you pass your turn, you draw a card, and that's pretty good.
I'm so okay with them playing around it. I think it's the best on all the cards that Ori said. Well, okay, so I must disagree with that, but like I can see some of the points of it being like better than the other finishers. And also most of the time I'm like before this list, people were telling me, okay, but what do you like put in the deck instead of time warp once again? I was on like you should play 3 foxes, you should play 3 odos. And this guy does already, and you should play Reigns also. That was one of my biggest takes. So like this I was right on, but also I can kind of see the idea of like this guy managed to cut something else, and so he's keeping the warps. I mean, like why not? That being said, I
Yeah,
still think it performed horribly bad in Top Cut because like
but
whenever
can
you
we?
are
Oh,
paired
wait,
into players that know how to play around warp, most of the time warp won't be effective, and I think that's something that we are forgetting because like so far people were not experienced enough at playing around it. But now that we are getting top players to play around it, this card seems to work maybe like 10% of the time. That's something that I don't like.
I mean, I think Warp is good. I think it works. Even if it works only 10% of the time, you win those 10% of games. And maybe that
Yeah,
gives
probably.
you enough edge to actually win like tournaments, to win more games to top. I don't know. I think that's the main thing. I think Time Warp offers something no other card in the game offer, and that's very valuable. It means if you're behind on points, you can still win, basically.
Yeah,
So
if you have the setup to do so.
because okay, look at it this way. If your opponent is on 6 points and you're on 5, and they have a huge base and you can't clear it, what are you doing? Like you're just losing next turn. No matter what you do, you can't hold. There's no way, right?
Well,
Most
that's why
decks are gonna be
also
able
I'm
to
a Rain
break.
advocate, because I think Rain could help in those spots, but
Yeah, but then you don't also like okay, you rain and they do the same. They full develop and maybe they play from hand. Maybe you can't clear everything. It's like
but like if they are on 6 and they have a big base and they are not pushing into battlefields, they are trolling. Like they should know. That, by the way, this is something that I wanted to ask you. I forgot before, but that's very important. Do you know if Top Cut was open decklist or closed list?
no, it's closed decklist every single top
Okay,
time.
great. So that was one of my points. If it's open decklist, you should probably play at least one warp to have the pressure. But like if your opponent is playing around warp and you are not playing warp, but let's say instead you are taking something like unchecked power to punish those who play around warp, wouldn't that be something that we could look at too?
Yeah.
Like you know that they will commit into battlefield because like they are playing around warp, you are on Case. But fun fact, you have no
I don't
warps and
think
then you
can
uncheck them.
actually play on warp in every spot. That's the main thing. It's like I think warp is too oppressive in some spots to actually play around. I think there is no way you actually play around the warp consistently enough.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So this is like something that is also sometimes true. I'm a big advocate of not being result oriented. Throughout Top Cut, we saw Time Warp being like extremely bad, but that was still like what 4 best of 3s of cases. So it could also be biased by what happened in these specific games. This is not something that we should look at as absolute data that we have to take as granted.
Very often, okay, let's put it this way. Very often with warp, you will win without playing it, and it's in your hand.
Yeah, exactly.
But
win more, basically.
But in many spots, you actually get so many options from having both warp and fox in your hand that you can actually set up a win very consistently, more consistently than if you just had one of them. Which is like I think is a big thing. You don't need to win with warp, but when you have it, you have more options that allows you to go for different game plans.
Okay, so great to have your points on this, chats, and Randy, thank you for debating that. I'm not going to change my opinion that it is win more, but I'm not also saying that it's a trash card, and I think I agree with like most of what you said. So we are kinda on the same wavelengths here. Do you have anything to add to this list, or can we just go to the overall
we can
events?
go to the next one.
Yeah, okay, next one, perfect. So we had a Kaisa in the finals, and he ended up winning the events, but top 4 was Kaisa into Yi, and also Kaisa into Yi. So I'm just going to build up the whole context, and then you can like talk about like specific mastery, because you also have a guide on Yi, right? Thank you guys for the follows, by the way. So day 1, round 1, we have about 30% Kaisa, 24% Yi, and then we jump into Top Cut, and both increased their rates. Yi from 24 to 29, and Kaisa from 30 to almost 44. So as expected, the dominant decks performed, delivered. Something that I want to talk about is supposedly Kaisa is a better overall deck, but once we are in that spot with a lot of Kaisas and a lot of Yis, from what was expected to be the format, Kaisa has a tough time into some Yi builds. So let's like consider that it should be favorable for Yi into the top cut. This is a trend that we saw in top 16, because like as you mentioned, there were 10 cases and 5 Ys, and then we reached top 4 and it's now 2 cases and 2 Ys. So like the rates got balanced pretty well, and we ended up seeing a lot more Ys convert into like that deep top run. But in the top 4, we saw that Omega was able to dominate that E matchup pretty well, maybe because of the adaptations we were talking about. And we also saw one E player kind of crushing a Kaisa, like the other semifinals contestant, which I can't remember the name of, sorry, did not have a shot at winning a single game in that Yi to Kaisa matchup. So what are your thoughts on Yi? I will pull up a list, of course. What are your thoughts on Yi, and especially on Yi into Kaisa, into like these deep top cut runs?
So I think, okay, so first of all, I think if you're Omega Zero and you sit down and you see Yi in front of you in top cuts, in top 4, you're really happy. I said that earlier, I think his list is amazing to Yi. But I think if you're playing another Kaisa list with like maybe Void Seekers, maybe Smoke Screens, you're not happy to see Yi stuff. Like Ramp Yi, specifically, if they see Zonia, you're in a rough spot. And I think we can also see that all those Yi players weren't expecting that many Kaisa.
You think so?
Kaisa, I think so. When we look at this list, for example, they have 1 Dead Bloom, 3 White Flames. When generally White Flame is worse than Dead Bloom into Kaisa, you need both, but you kind of would prefer 2 and 2 if you were playing into Kaisa. I think that was they would side. They would probably add the second Dead Bloom for sure. And they play only 2 Zonias when Zonia is one of the best cards into Kaisa as well. So that kind of... Also one Sabotage. Sabotage is not good into Kaisa at all. There's not much we want to take out of their hands at the cost of 1 rune. So I think overall... And also, Kiana is thought to be good into Kaisa. It's not that great.
No, it's actually trash. Tell them.
It's like, yeah, it's not that good into Kaisa, but it's really good into Aura decks. Though, like Kiana is very good into Aura, because you can just have like this body that's gonna stick. Because the way it's gonna work is like against Aura. On turn 2, you can develop Kiana. You're always able to push with her and then fold back. So she actually gets like 2 conquers very consistently against Aura decks, which is pretty big.
Yeah. So that's exactly what I'm talking about when I'm like criticizing Kiana and people are like, "Are you crazy? It's one of the best cards in the game." You are dropping a 4/4 paying a power. Most of the time, a power is either a draw or an increase in stats, right? Like Clockwork Keeper is you pay a power, you draw. So like a power is the cost for a draw. Basically, that's how you have to think about it, right? Then Kiana does nothing on spawn, then has to conquer to just refound its cost. Because like if you draw or channel, whatever way you are thinking about it, you already founded the cost. And then you need to tap it back to base and next turn reconquer for it to be actually worth it. And so like resource wise, you can already prove, like there's no bias about that. You can prove that it's a bad card. And then I think people are overrating Deflect so hard into Kaisa. Like they are thinking Deflect makes it an invisible card. Like you're going to get like Darius in your ass and just tie to it. Like there's nothing you can do about that with Deflect. So I really dislike Kiana in my like in the current format. It's way too slow in my opinion. And something that something that I would love to have your opinion on is, once again, I'm open to debate, and like most of the time, one of the questions people ask is, okay, but then what do you replace it with? I like 100% do think that the 5/5 vanilla, which is like Phantom something, a green card, no power cost, just a 5/5, is a better card.
Isn't it like a 5 cost?
It's 5 cost, 5 might. Vanilla.
Yeah, but then you can't actually play it onto turn 2, which is when you want to play Kiana, right? But the issue, I think there are 2 plans in when you play E. Either you play Kiana or you play Catalyst. You can play both. And so either you go for Kiana and then you kind of play a second chill turn, like this list is trying to do. Like she's trying to go for turn 1 into Kiana, into turn 1 and have like a few mana up for utility, basically. And then go into the big turns. Or you can go turn 1 into Catalyst, into immediately big drops like Faithful, ideally. Maybe Dead Bloom, maybe this kind of stuff. Uh, both plans are very scary. The problem is, if you don't see Catalyst on turn 2, it gets worse every single
Yeah,
turn,
yeah, yeah. It's the worst
which is kind
cards.
of true for Kiana, but not as much, because you could also play Kiana later on in the game and
I,
have like a turn with Kiana played in the back and buffs in hand or like defensive card to
people
support
are
that.
using it as a point to favor Kiana, but I kind of disagree. I see what you mean. Like sometimes you just need a body, and like Kiana is a body, right? But you could play any body in the game that would be the exact same thing. Uh, like drawing Kiana when you're on 12 runes and like or 10 runes, whatever, and need a play is not good. Like it's
Yeah,
not a
but
point going
okay, let's put
Kiana's
it this
favor.
way. Okay,
It's just not
drawing
worse.
Kiana on 12 rune is not good,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but drawing Poro on 12 rune is not good either, but we still played 3 and it's amazing, right? And it's like, I don't think that an argument for Kiana, but I don't think that an argument against her either. I just
Nah,
think Kiana is
yeah, yeah. I mean,
I think Kiana is also
compared to
very good
Catalyst,
into
yeah, for
other
sure.
decks.
But like compared to overall quad quality in the deck, I'd rather have like 3 Dead Blooms and 3 Folks than 3 Kianas.
Well, the thing
If I
is,
were
you
to
kind
play
of
Lee.
so the idea is when I said I think people expected a lot of aura for this tournament, I think that's why, and maybe there was a lot of auras. I think that's why Kiana was good and performed kind of okay. I haven't looked at every list, but I think it was pretty much played in most of them, at least in the side deck. Um, Kiana is kind of necessary into aura E's, because this deck list, like this E list, gets completely destroyed by aura. If
But
you
then you
play
could
aura
just
and you
side
play
it, right?
into Rampy, even post side, pre side, doesn't matter what you do, aura is clapping your cheeks. Like this list
Potentially,
is.
like Sabotage is here to play into Aurora, no?
Oh, if you don't, yeah, if you sabotage aura out of their hand, well, then you can play. If you don't, I mean, it's gonna be tough. I'm
Yeah,
not
for
gonna
sure.
lie. Like, if the aura player doesn't like completely butcher or completely miss on their aura, you should be losing that. I
Yeah, yeah.
think Kiana makes the matchup better, which I haven't really thought about the aura against Yi matchup. To be fair, I'm not playing Yi that much those days. I've played it earlier in the format. I play against it and I try like I play Yi, but not to improve the deck, more to like see how my other decks would fare against it.
Yeah, and so
So
like
I'm not the most knowledgeable Yi player.
on a more global perspective, what would be your thoughts on that supposedly favorable for Yi matchup into Kaisa right now? Now that like format is not resolved, I think Houston is going to be the deciding point into like is the format resolved or not. Because like we are going to see a lot of like deck building innovations in my opinion in Houston. But like, what would you say now that we kind of know what the lists are looking like regarding this Yin to Kaisa matchup that is supposedly favorable for Yi, or at least was in the past?
I think for 90% of people, Yi is gonna be favored into Kaisa. You need to play very clean with Kaisa to actually beat Yi, or have a very teched tech list for the Yi matchup to actually be ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And even in those cases, you're not that ahead. The problem is, Kaisa wins against most of the field very consistently. I'm not scared of Ari at all. I'm not scared of Yasuo. I'm not scared of Leona. I'm not scared of all the rogue decks. Like all the bad decks just lose to Kaisa really hard.
Basically, all
I think
three
Set
decks
as
that you
well.
just mentioned are rogue decks because Kaisa exists, so makes sense.
Yeah. So, but Yi, if I'm playing Yi into Timo, I'm pretty scared. If I'm playing Yi into MF Aura, I'm not that sure of like winning. If I'm playing Yi into Set, I could also lose. Um, that's the thing. I think Yi is good into Kaisa only, and very okay to favored into the other decks, but it's not as good as Kaisa. I think Kaisa is very favored and can basically never lose to Ari, never lose to all the other decks of the format.
Mm-hmm.
She wins into most of them except for the Aura decks very consistently. Like if you're a decent Kaisa player, you're gonna win like 90% of the time against these guys. They can't do anything. Like if we played Ari against Kaisa, I don't think you would win many games. I just think the deck,
No, that would be tough for sure.
and I think that's one of the main big points for Kaisa. But when we get to Yi and Aura, Kaisa kind of struggles. Our win rate goes down, and it becomes more complicated, more difficult. While Yi, on the other hand, as a decent matchup into Kaisa overall. I think if the Kaisa player against you is weak or average, you're gonna be very favored with E. But if they're very good, even in that case, you can just have Defy, Zonia, and Deadbloom, and you just win the game immediately.
Yeah.
And they can't do anything about it, right? But if you play against all the purple decks, you're not that good. If you play against like
Set is
Aura,
especially strong
you're
into
not
E,
that
in
good.
my opinion. I think
Set
Set is a
depends.
very
I'm not
tough
sure
matchup
how-
if you don't see like double charm.
Set can be really tough. That's for sure. If you see White Flame and have like good White Flame angles, Set can actually struggle a lot. But if you don't see White Flame when you need it, it can be difficult because if they start saving the Set brawler and you don't charm it back,
Yeah,
they
that's
can
the
get a
big
good
thing.
push into you. It's gonna get dicey because every single turn they're gonna be able to get value, right?
Yup.
I think Set's decent into E. I'm not sure how good it is. Because there aren't that many good Set players, and also Set is very inconsistent.
I think it's like basically if they don't see double charm and you are really good at Set, you have a 90 to 10 matchup in my opinion.
But the
like,
thing is,
it's
Set
very,
is
very
really
free.
unreliable. I think Set
Yeah,
is
yeah,
an
that's a big
unreliable
problem,
deck.
for sure.
It has a lot of moving pieces, and
Yep.
if those pieces don't come together like well and when you need them, you're gonna have a bad time. So I think a Set deck that actually works and has like a decent draw can probably consistently win into E.
But you don't
But
have
they're not
enough
gonna have that
power.
draw that often.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's
yeah.
I think that's why Set didn't convert that well. It's a very strong deck, but it's very inconsistent. And
That
top
being said, you were
128
talking
is
about like we could jump to
dead.
Set actually. I think are you done with E? Is there like in the
Yeah,
chat
yeah,
feel
he's
free
fine.
to
I
ask
don't
questions.
have much more to say against E.
I think we're done. Let's
the main
jump to
thing
Set.
we talked about is Kiana versus Catalyst. I think there are the turn two we want to talk about. Every single tender, I hate the one sabotage. I hate the one confront. I don't like this list very
I
much.
do like
think
both cards, both Sabotage and Confront, for different scenarios. But I think you should make a pick and like play three of
Maybe.
these.
I mean, I'm not in love with them like main deck, but I like the Lee from fourth place. I think the fourth place Lee is better. Like the guy who lost in Top Cut.
Yeah.
I think his list was better.
I think I have it somewhere here.
You have
Yeah.
it, just yeah. I think this list is more consistent.
Just
and
cleaner.
More of what
Just cleaner, right?
I think it's. I think I'm playing like 95% of the same list. I'm just on 2 Vanguard and I have 3 White Flame. I have 3 Fey Folk, 2 Vanguard, and then I'm moving in between 3 White Flame and 2 Dead Blooms. Like I'm switching Dead Bloom and White Flame. It depends on what I'm expecting in the meta, but everything else is 95% the same. I think every single card is the same.
And then in the sideboard, we have
-1
the
on guard,
Sabotages to play into Aurora and
even
like
the
whatever,
sideboard.
yeah.
Even the sideboard is the same. If I was playing 2 Dead Bloom and 3 White Flame, I would have a certain Dead Bloom this side.
Yeah, of course. So better list. Let's talk about.
In my opinion, I don't know.
Let's talk about. So now that we talked about the 2 big eaters, every time we have a stream, I do have some from half an hour to an hour. We are together, so maybe it's going to be longer. It's fine, but like, Kitty Cat is taking my mouth away. Give me a second. Here, stop doing this, Kitty, please. Here, you go down. Not nice. Mwah. Love you. So, sorry. As I was talking about, each stream I have a section regarding like top decks of the week, kinda, in which I like try to go through the list and like this is going to become a trend into building this deck. This is going to stay. This is something that we did not see that is cool. So let's do this for, if you're fine with it, let's do this for these kinda lower play rate decks. And let's start with Set, since we were talking Set earlier, if you're fine with that.
I'm not
Can
the
you hear
most
me?
knowledgeable into
Can't
every
you?
single deck.
Sorry, my bad. I
But-
had no sound on, but like I hear you now.
Okay.
I got
So,
scared by the
okay.
cats. So, talking Sets. I really dislike this list. First thing that I should talk about. So this is a list by Sn with a lot of N's, which is a player that we already saw topping with, I think it was Kaisa in a previous regional. So probably overall strong player. I think there are good ideas. I just think this list is on the greedier side of building Set. As you were talking about, when you're Set, you are actually rather bad at having like a consistent power output, sorry, and you need to like put the pieces together. And so maximizing your amount of pieces is something that I would look at to like combo them together as much as I can. And so like all of these like one-offs, two-offs, I don't like. I'm also a big advocate of boar as a three-off because I think it's sometimes very crucial to your game
The
plan.
arena bar, yeah.
Yeah, the boar.
I think the main thing in this list is we have 9 cards at buff, and that's not enough. We have 10 if we count the orange set himself.
Mm-hmm.
We play 2 Wall Hope and 1 First Mate, and we have 9 buff cards.
And also, we
Like,
are on so many cards that need buffs to be good. Like, Orange
that's
Listed
kind of the
needs
thing,
buff
is
to
like-
be good. Fiora needs buff to be good. Yellow set needs buff to be good. Like,
Okay, Citria could count as a buff for Wall Hop, at least. but
kinda, yeah.
It's not actually like as the same as Bonk or Peach Rookie.
But I do like the
So-
inclusion of some of these cards, though. But like, I think overall we are just missing on consistency here.
I mean, we're staying on the trend about Yi and Aura, right? Sabotage is for Aura mostly, and Phase Breaker is pretty good into Yi. It's okay into Kaisa, but not amazing. If we wanted to counter Kaisa, we'd probably play Pen, most likely, instead of Phase Breaker or something like this. Sabotage, I don't know how Set does into Aura, to be fair. I haven't played it that much, but yeah. I see also Divine Judgment. I have no idea about that card, like how good it is, in what matchup it is
Like,
good.
bro, I saw this, I was like, what the fuck is this for? Like, he plays
It's-
3 of it, right? So it should win a matchup, right?
So I'm thinking if we go first into Aura, we're going 2 runes, 4, 6. So that doesn't work. But if we go second into Aura, I think they get to Aura before we play it. So I'm not sure. I don't think.
Yeah,
it's
but
for
like
that
they
matchup.
keep a gear. So like you use this and they
No,
keep
yeah,
Aura
I'm
and
saying
then you're
it's not
doomed.
for
No?
that matchup. I don't think it works into Aura.
Yeah, I don't
From
think
what
so.
I'm seeing.
And,
So
like why
maybe
why
if
would
you
it
had,
would that
like,
be
star
good into
tips-
Kaisa? Like how? How is it good into Kaisa? I don't think it is, right?
I don't think we get to 7 runes into Kaisa most of the time.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
if we do,
agreed.
we're either really winning or really losing. So maybe for Yi, I guess.
Yeah, potentially like Rampy, but
Because
then
okay, yeah,
you
it's
want to
into
include such a
Rampy,
card in your
we
main
could
deck?
we could not deramp at all, and just play it on curve going second. And maybe if we just play yellow set or orange set, play it on curve going first. And in that case, we play it before they get to
Yeah.
to the 8 drops of White Flame. So maybe in that case, that's pretty good. I haven't thought about it that much,
I don't think it's
but I think that's the plan.
like
We
actually
play
I think
into
it should
Yi.
not come in the list at the cost of consistency. If you are having a consistent list and then you can add this card, maybe, but like I think you still like challenge is so important into some of these matchups. It's your only
don't
way to
think you-
reach the base.
But I don't think you can. The problem is when you start playing set, you get stuck on these awkward like 5 runes, maybe 6, maybe 4, like very early in the game, and you have a very hard time getting out of this zone. And if you play spells that actually cost power in those turns, you never get out of it. So as challenge is good when you can play it, but you can't really play it most of the time because you
It's
get to
especially
5
true
or
in
6 runes.
Kaisa, but for other matchups, I don't think it's like exactly that way.
I haven't played that
Most of the
many-
time,
I
you
haven't
are on
played
like
set
8,
into
9 runes as set into like Yi.
Yeah, I think into Yi you can definitely have like that as an option. I mean, the thing is, Defy is a card, so the less spells that actually cost power we play, the better. Probably.
Yeah, that's fair point. Fair point. So like, I kind of don't like this list, but also would be interesting to know about the judgment side of things and how it does.
I think it's good
which
into.
matchup.
After thinking about it, I think it's pretty good into Yi.
Yeah, but like ramp,
should be.
right? Not Aurora.
I mean, yeah, not Aura Yi. I think Aura Yi like outspeeds you.
Yeah, like they just keep Aurora and you lose the game, so
Mhm.
no points.
Yep.
So that's about it regarding sets. Regarding the overall placement of the deck, though,
But
I think it's
set
like
should be fine into Aura overall, right?
Yeah,
They have
yeah,
Honest
yeah.
Dragon, they have
Should be
Salvage,
decent.
that should be fine.
so I do think like this deck is especially strong into Yi. If you're expecting to run into a lot of Yis, you basically destroy them if you're a good set player. That being said, the deck is tougher to build and play than what people think. It's very, very hard. Like you get punished easily for making a small mistake in like rune management. So that's pretty interesting to play set. But also, as you mentioned, I think you have a tough time into Kaisa. And like one of your big things into Kaisa is you kind of force falling stars, and then you have yellow set that's extremely good at playing around these spells, right? But like if Kaisa is adding rain back into the main deck, which I guess most people will be adding it after this weekend's results, then it's a nightmare because like all of your bodies get blown away in base, and like you can only save one, right?
Yeah,
So I don't think set
that's the
is going
issue.
to be good going forwards. We're going to like sum all of this up into the tier list, but if rains are back in the main deck, a lot of these mid-range tempo decks have to be scared. Like really, rain is a big problem for a lot of decks.
I mean, Set does play Annealing though, so game 2 and 3 we're fine.
You could, but you have to see it. And once again, as you mentioned before, you
I mean, you
are
don't
really
really
bad
have
at
to see it,
drawing
right?
cards.
But you don't really have to see it, right? Because if you keep one rune up, they can't rain. If you have an yielding or not doesn't matter, right?
I mean, they
Because if
can't
do
rain, but they can check for it, right? Like, if they have a good falling star and they use it and you don't unyielding, they probably know you don't have it.
I mean, yeah, but then they're already you're getting cooked. If they
Yeah,
start
yeah.
getting good falling star and you don't have anything.
I
But
don't
yeah,
think like
no.
that's
The thing
enough to
is,
say it's a positive matchup.
no, it's not. But yeah, I think it makes it doesn't. It makes rain bad game 1, but be, like worse games 2 and 3.
Yeah, this I agree with. But like maybe then you side out rain and like be happy with your unyieldings in the main deck. Like whatever. So set that being said, with everything that we said regarding the deck's power level and it falling off a bit of popularity, it was the best placing deck out of all those that were not Kaisa and Yi. So still big props to you, Sun, for bringing it so
I
far.
don't actually know how the placement works though. I don't know if it's against who you lost or if it's Swiss placement.
This
So maybe
I don't know about. Yeah, for sure.
so because technically he could just have lost to like a bigger, higher seed,
Yeah.
and like I think the placement is kind of irrelevant until we get to top, like top
But still,
32, top
he landed
64.
in top 32, so like,
Yeah, so that's like same as MF basically, kind of.
yeah,
Is what
basically,
I
and then
meant to
Timo
say.
Victor are the same.
Yeah.
But we are going to talk about this right now. So let's jump onto MF. I'm just going to say my take on MF and like specifically this list and whatever list is like there are forever there will be interesting deck innovations and stuff, but I think it's just like could have been any MF that just I rolled the tournament and like GG's. I don't think there's such a big difference into basically you see Aurora or you don't, and like as good as you, or if you don't see Aurora you are losing, and if you see it you are winning. So I don't think there's much to say about this MF really.
I mean, once again, we're seeing like Possession, we're seeing the Arrowing, which is like the revive card.
Uh-huh.
I think Possession specifically is really good into other like big decks like Aura and E. So that's a trend we can continue to see. China expected a lot of Auras, a lot of E's.
See you, Leo. Yeah, so yeah, that's indeed something that we are
See,
that we could be worth mentioning is that we are not seeing the Soul Gorger card, which is a card that I
oh,
don't
it's
like
bad.
into MF because like if you eat it off of your early auras, it's trash.
Oh, you lose. You lose the game on the spot.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think we
yeah.
need to cut this card. It's even in the Arrowing is kind of worse. It's
But
fine
like you can
if
play
we
it whenever
hit.
you want. You don't have to play it off
Yeah,
aura
if
because you
we
eat
hit
it.
Soul Gorger immediately, it's cooked. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So like yeah, I agree. I think Soul Gorger should have been cut a long time ago. It finally got cut, and like pretty happy about that. Regarding the rest of it, not much to say. I think this is just like a standard list of someone that just I rolled through the rounds and then lost in top cut to a player that did not make any mistake and just like he did not get auroras on curve game 1 and game 2, and so like that's about it. Not much to say about this deck. Not hating on Aurora though, not saying like if you are playing Aurora you are unskilled or whatever. That will never be my point. It's
I
just
can.
like
I will say it. I will say if you play Aura,
you
you
can
suck
say
at
it
the
if you
game.
want because you are a toxic guy, but I'm trying to build a brand, right? just kidding, of course. But like now, if you are starting the game or wanting to play Aurora, feel free. I just don't think my big takeaway from all of this Aurora thingy is that the difference between a strong Aura player and a not strong Aura player is far smaller than the difference between a strong Kaisa player and a worse Kaisa player will ever be. And for if you're good or trying to get good, you should always pick a deck that allows you to like have that room to express yourself level wise. So
I also think one big thing is I think if you want to learn the game and you play Aura, you're not gonna learn the game.
yeah, you're not going to learn the game,
You're
of
gonna
course.
like it's not gonna be you learning the game. It's gonna be you playing Aura and trying to high roll games, and you will just not improve. And if you play Aura all the format until it gets irrelevant, you're gonna get to the next one and you're gonna start playing the game and you're gonna
Yep.
be like 6 months behind because you have been playing Aura for 6 months and you don't know shit.
Yeah.
Which
this
is
I
kind
agree
of my
with.
point, right? It's like, why are we playing Aura if we could just be learning the game with another deck? I think Yi is an easy deck to pilot or easier pilot than the rest, and is gonna teach you much more about the game.
Yep, and we're talking rampy, like not Aura. Don't get us wrong.
I mean Rampy, I mean Aura Yi, of course, not because I'm
Yeah.
placing all the Aura kind of deck together. Yeah, I think
You're doing a
Rampy,
George.
any Yi is easy to play or relatively easy to pilot at least, and it's gonna yield you better results in the long term. Maybe Aura. I mean, to be fair, Aura, if you have a tournament next weekend and you don't know shit about the game, bring Aura. You're probably gonna do best with Aura
Yeah,
than
yeah,
any
you
other
might
deck.
top for sure. But like then you are out of the tournament, and like what did you learn is the biggest takeaway. So yeah,
Yeah, but if you wanted to just you go to Houston and you don't have time to learn the game, maybe take Aura with you, and it's
well
probably gonna be the
basically
best deck if you're not very good at the game. It's gonna
ba-
be what
like
yields a better result with the least effort, I think.
playing Riftbound in the competitive environment that we have now. Basically, anything that's not a skirmish or a regional is prep for a skirmish or a regional, in my opinion. So, like, might as well play those decks that you know you are going to lose with, because like you're going to learn, and that's the biggest thing. And then you play something that you are comfortable with at your skirmish or at the regional, and you're going to have much better results because now you understand what your opponent's trying to do, and you know much about their game plan and their key interaction and stuff. So yeah, don't be afraid of testing. Don't be afraid of losing. It's like whatever. Nobody on earth is winning all of their games at local and then winning regionals. We are all testing things and losing because of it. But like, that's part of the plan. So don't be afraid of trying out new things. Jumping onto Victor, so we
Except me though, I don't lose.
yeah, you never lose, but then you don't win regionals, right? So I was not
Okay,
including
I
you in
mean
there.
we'll see in Houston. We're gonna see.
Bro, I'm going to cast you in Houston. You better be in that Top Cut stream. You better be in
Of course
there.
we try.
I will be rooting the. I might buy a Go Randy shirt or something if you end up topping.
Oh my god.
With the
If I
penguin.
win
on it.
Houston, I'll be giving away my Kaisa deck. Like fully, I have a fully max rated Kaisa. I'll give it away if I win Houston.
If you win Houston, you give it away, bro. You made like 30k. Of course, you give it away.
Okay, sure. Well, you're out of the giveaway anyway. The believers in the
Is
chat can
it
actually just.
signed Kaisa?
No, I'll buy a signed Kaisa for the deck if I do.
Nah, bro. Okay. Fine. Then I'm a believer. I'll be in the giveaway.
Okay.
So let's jump onto the next deck, which
Oh
is
my
the third
God.
deck ever to not be Keisa or Yi in these regionals. This is Yellow Victor. I have kind of a similar standpoint to Yellow Victor than I have to Aurora, which is basically you eye roll, you win, you don't, you lose, and like the level you have as a player does not make much difference because like
Kind
you
of
have to
disagree.
eat.
I think Victor is difficult to play. I think you need to be good at Victor.
Yeah, but
Because
like
you
you have
need
to
to
eat like
save-
those early game units. Then you have to eat those token generators, such as like Vanguard. Then you drop that Yellow Victor, and then you have to eat that stratagem, and basically you won the game. There's nothing your opponent can do. But like if
I
you
don't know. I
eat
think
them
there
in
are
the
a lot
wrong
of ways to
order,
play.
nah. Like bro,
I
look
mean,
at this.
I would
If
say-
you have like you were complaining about Kaisa being on like 6 to 7 end game like top end units. This guy is on 2 Watchers, 3 Singularity, 1 Rex, 2 Stratagem, 1 Evangel, 2 Decree, 1 Comet in a deck that has barely has draw power.
I mean, this list is kind of cooked. There are a lot of good things in this list. I'll talk about the bad things first, and then
Yeah,
I'll
go for it.
highlight the good things. I think one falling comet is weird. I think one consult is okay. I think one facebreaker is kind of weird, but okay. 3 singularities is a lot in a
I would
format
expect
where
people to
he's
be on 2
expected
most
to
of
be
the time.
played. I think 3 singularities main deck is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Decree. I think Decree is a good card. I
Yeah,
like Evangel as
nice.
a one-off. I think you never want to play 2 or C2 in a game, so I can see it as a one-off. It's not necessary, but it's pretty good if you see it as a one-off. And against Kaisa, if you think, I mean, game 2 and 3, they probably bring in Rain, so Evangel is kind of your only way to deal with that card in a way.
Yup.
It's a bad way to deal with it, but it's better than just losing.
This just feels
I'm
like a
surp-
best of one list, basically.
yeah,
Like they
but I'm
have
surprised
everything, but still nothing, right?
I'm surprised we aren't seeing seals, like yellow seals in this list. There's a lot of yellow power cost.
Yeah. Might as well
I would
commit to
have
the iRoll
loved to
version.
see, yeah, I would have loved to see more consoles the past and a few seals, a few
I think
yellow seals.
consult is crucial to like you have zero
Victor,
draw
yeah,
power, and
I think
also I'm like extremely surprised to see zero stupefy in there. Like I think that's one of the best cards in the deck, right?
no, I think Stupefy is not great into Victor because you push with tokens a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you reduce the might of the opponents, you can't actually buff your own might. So you end up like using Stupefy but still trading. So it's not great, and you already have that one extra like mana you want to use every turn for the token. So saving 2 mana from like your perfect curve every turn to have the Stupefy mana
Yeah,
is
true.
kind of
Could be a
hard.
problem.
You would need to play Student to have value from Stupefy, and then
But I would
you don't have
definitely
that
play
many
student
spells,
though.
right?
I would definitely
But
play students.
you don't have that many spells though.
Because you
And you're
decided
not
not to
playing.
put them in there, because you could play more
Yeah, but
consults and more face breakers for sure.
I don't know because you're starting to. I wouldn't say. I mean, the thing is, I wouldn't say Consult is a spell you can play to buff Student aggressively, which is probably what you want to do in Victor. I think in Victor you want to push battlefields and basically kind of surrender your units. You just push and you let them die, and then you push again, and you try to develop base at the same time, so you can actually stratagem to close the game. I think that's Victor game plan, and I
Yeah.
think Phase Breaker is probably just here to buy 1 turn against like MF Aura, for example. They play Dead Bloom, you Face Breaker, Dead Bloom goes back to base, and you have 1 extra turn. But this
Yeah,
deck is
kinda.
pretty favored into Aura anyway, so maybe we
Yeah,
don't need
it's
it.
like casino, and then if you hit everything in the correct sequencing, you are probably getting away with the dub. But I don't
I
think
think
this
it's fine.
this
I
deck.
don't think this list is awful.
I don't think
there are
we
some
will see
weird
this deck
things.
performing like. We probably will see a Victor performing every tournament because like there are so many of them. But I don't think this deck is something that we can expect at the highest level. Except maybe if they eye roll like every game. Like if I see a Victor in like top 8, top 4, I would be very, very surprised.
I would not if they had the good pair. I think you're saying Victor needs to high roll. I think he
Yellow
does, but
Victor
in
though.
terms of pairings more than in terms of like in the games. I think pairings do a lot. I think if Victor faces a lot of auras, he's gonna be very
Yeah,
happy.
for
If he
sure.
faces some Kaisas and a lot of auras, he's gonna have a very good time. If he faces Yi, like Ramp Yi, it's not gonna be that fun.
But
We're gonna have
then
trouble.
cases are on rain, and rain is a big problem for
Oh
Victor.
yeah, now that guys are gonna be on rain, it's gonna be
Yeah,
rough.
it's a big
I think
problem
2
for
rain
Victor.
main deck is like Victor is completely cooked.
Yeah, I think so. So I don't think we're going to see Victor perform any further into Houston. But wouldn't be surprised to see one in like 64 or 32 cuts.
I
Like,
also don't think
there are
many
so of
strong
them.
players are gonna bring Victor to the
I don't think
tournaments
so,
because
yeah.
it loses to Yi that hard and there really isn't anything you can do about it. So I personally wouldn't bring Victor anytime
I keep talking about like
anytime soon.
Blue Victor though, so this is maybe something that should you guys could type exclamation mark lists in chat. So you have access to my Piltover archive with all of my lists. And something that I played recently is that Blue Victor, which I think has some interesting things to say in the current formats, but once again, it's probably like worth Blue Airy, and into Rain, it's trash. But like this is also, if you are planning on playing Victor and have a bit more control over the outcome of your games. By the way, signature spell is trash. Don't play it. This is just like a trial list. But most likely you could try something like that and have like success at seeing a more consistent outcome for your games. But you are also
The
missing
problem
on like
with
that
this
high
deck list
potential.
immediately is, oh my god, we're paying so much power. We have, and the thing is, we only have small units and we're paying so much power. If Smokescreen get defied, we're cooked into Yi. Like this Yi is never getting
You
off battlefield if we
you
get
have that
Smokescreen
Facebreaker
defied.
though. That's like Facebreaker Blade Smokescreen is most of the time enough to like, if they tap 8 to go Dead Bloom and you go like Smoke Screen and they go Defy, then you can just like play Facebreaker and it's fine-ish, I guess.
Yeah, I can see it.
Like, I'm
But
not saying like it's heavily favored into the whole formats, but like the fact that you are adding up so many small spells that interact positively makes it so they can't defy everything.
I
But
also
signature
think it's
spell is
very
trash
difficult
though.
to get good value from Blue Victor because he has 3 might, so
The bigger problem is Kesa for sure. But like
yeah.
once again, something that I also talk to people about like on Twitter, and I think it's a big takeaway from the format too, is like if everything you're going to say to like talk about a deck power is that it loses into Kesa, well, all of the other legends that are not Kesa into the game and maybe Yi lose to Kesa. So basically you still have to like, yeah, you lose into Kesa, but you have to find ways to play around the matchup as best as you can, because then it would not be the best deck if like not
My,
everyone was losing
my
into
main
it.
issue with Victor, like the Blue Victor guy, is we're making the Kaisa matchup worse when I think it's actually playable. I think Kaisa matchup, like if you're a good Victor into Kaisa, you're gonna be 50-50 in my opinion.
Pre-rain,
It's 50.
yes. Post-rain, I don't think so.
Oh, with 2 Reigns main deck, probably it's worse. It's
Yeah.
one thing,
Pre-rain,
but
I agree. Pre-rain, I would agree for sure.
yeah, now that Rain is 2 off, probably not. That's true. But we're still okay into Kaisa because basically, especially with the Kaisa playing less 2-drops, we can probably raise Kaisa fast enough
You could try.
to that even through 1 Rain, we could probably be winning in some
Yeah,
spots.
you could try. So yeah, regarding Victor, don't think we're going to see him rise in popularity or like place better. To beat Keisa, is it better to play blue or yellow Victor? Yellow for sure, but then there are games that you are going to lose just because like you opened your top end cards in the early game and you have no way to cycle. So I mean,
think
there
if you play
are
the
pros
Kaisa
and cons
list,
to
the
both.
Victor list, the guy played in top, like in Shanghai, you're pretty much fine into Kaisa. You're fine if they don't have 2 Reigns. And if
Yeah.
you play the Blue Victor, you're probably better into other matchup, but worse into
Yeah,
Kaisa, I
exactly.
guess. I haven't played Blue Victor, so I don't know that much, but
Well, I
know
think
for
it's
sure.
way more skill intensive than yellow is, but also yeah, loses order in 2 cases.
I mean, if it's worse, that's skill is cool, but Yasuo is pretty skill intensive, but it doesn't really work, right? So
I do have a Yasuo brew coming up. I
Yasuo's
think
fine. I think Yasuo is okay.
I think we are onto something. I need to test it more, but I think I am onto something. We're going to talk about
Cheater
Yasuo.
Teemo. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Cheater
Teemo. So
Teemo.
there is a story to tell about Teemo. I think this list is the cheaters list, right? Oh, since he got
Yeah,
DQ'd,
it's the
another one.
Cheaters Teemo. Oh my
Okay,
god.
it's the cheaters Teemo. So just so you guys know, for a bit more context, there was a Teemo in top 16 that was on stream in top 32 and won, but he later on got DQ'd for cheating. I don't exactly know to what extent of cheating, but like he
was
supposedly is a known cheater in other card games, and he got a 1-year suspension from competitive play. So pretty happy with like what do you let's talk about that before we get into Teemo. What do you think about I'm pretty happy with the way they are treating cheaters. I think it's the second 1-year ban they have given so far, and I think it's pretty cool that we are seeing immediate action. As to in other TCGs, some players can cheat again and again and never get punished for that. Hello Lokona, hello
Thinking
Yu-Gi-Oh.
I'm thinking Lorcana immediately.
Yeah, for sure.
Lorcana, no one was banned for the first year.
Yeah,
Cheating was ever, I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Cheating. I mean, there are a lot of forms of cheating that have been rampant in Yu-Gi-Oh!
yeah,
When I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! You weren't like around that much, but I was pretty open about like talking about, especially when I was playing in the US, talking about cheating. Like a lot of people cheated back then. It was
yeah.
more
Still,
common.
still
People
to
were
this date.
unaware. People got better at catching it like
Yeah,
recently and
yeah,
in
yeah.
recent years. I think I'm probably gonna do a video on how to do that. I'm kind of debating on how to make the video exactly because I don't want to give people like
Yeah, like cheating
actual like
advice.
cheating tips,
Yeah.
but I actually want to tell people how to prevent it because once you know like the only actual good way to prevent cheating is to know how it's happening so you can actually catch your opponent doing it, and that's the only real way you have because the judges are not going to be able to see it.
And
They
there's
have a lot of
also
tables to check.
something I think is
And
crucial to Riftbound is the ID system of like
I mean,
they
yeah, but
have a track record of you cheating, so like they know now. What do you think about that?
Let me send the screen to a friend. One sec.
Yeah, sure,
Okay.
sure. So basically, for those who don't
Okay.
know, if you want to enter a Riftbound event, you need to link your Riot ID as a way to like enter the event, right? And
Oh
so
damn.
this means they will have all of your history of like you being a nice or an horrible person. If you're a cheater, sorry, you are an horrible person. And like, let's say there is odd cheating, like stacking, marking cards, so on, slow playing, something that can be like odd noticed, like they are doing it or not. But there's also soft cheating, as in like pressuring your opponent to play faster on a consistent basis every round, trying to cheat and then saying, "Oh my bad, I did not notice," calling judge for like whatever reason, like basically what we call sharking in the TCG
I
world, which is not
yeah,
like
I
hard
think
cheating, but soft cheating still. And they can
I
have an
think for
history of all
Yu-Gi-Oh!
of this.
Yeah, I think with Yu-Gi-Oh! We had like back then when I was in the US, I played. There was a lot of mechanical cheating, which is basically sleight of hand.
Yeah,
You're a
like
magician, you do
hard
bullshit with
cheating,
your deck.
basically.
Opponent deck, so it's like hard cheating, right? You're literally moving cards you shouldn't be moving, drawing extra cards, all this bullshit.
Yep.
That came with judges getting more experience with it, like all this stuff. Older TCGs have kind of started to fix this, or like people have been better at catching the opponent or like preventing the opponent, which is probably what I'm gonna do a video about or like a talk about to teach people to do that in Riftbound. It's pretty simple. There are some simple steps you can take to prevent your opponent from cheating you, and that are pretty efficient. And then you have all you said, which is one of the reasons I stopped Yu-Gi-Oh! And a lot of people stopped Yu-Gi-Oh! Which is like all the bullshit about slow playing, being
Yeah.
extremely OP,
Like soft cheating, they
soft
are not like
sharking.
doing anything
Yeah, I mean it's
illegal,
hard
but they
cheating,
are
right? Slow
applying
playing
pressure
on
one way or
purpose,
another.
like to go to time, is actually just straight up cheating. And this kind of cheating is very annoying, very hard to catch, very hard for judges to judge because, I mean, it's extremely hard when you're a judge to know who is actually in the right. You haven't seen the game, you don't know how the opponent is playing. So cheating is a huge problem in card games. I hope it gets better with Riftbound.
But now what I think is pretty cool and like gives me hopes for the future is that like they are extremely severe on banning cheaters, which I like a lot. Because you could not,
I don't
you
know
should
if
not
that's
cheat.
severe.
Like,
That's severe. I mean, this guy
yeah,
was literally on stream, got caught
yeah, yeah,
cheating.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can't not ban him,
I
right?
would not
There's
say
no
severe,
other
but
option
like
for
they
them.
are punishing them harshly. So they are taking action, and also
I don't know if a 1 year ban is harsh though. I think I would have seen 2 or 5 years. I wouldn't
yeah,
be
maybe,
unhappy.
yeah. But like still, they are taking action, which I like, and also with this Riot ID thingy, let's say like you said, it's hard for a judge to rule slow play, which I completely agree with. But like, let's say you are attending tournaments for a while, like 6 months or something, and then every time someone
Yeah.
like calls a judge on you slow playing, the judge maybe
You have an
can't resolve the
history, yeah.
situation, but they can like put into your account there was a call for slow playing against this particular player, and then next event you are slow playing again, and there's another call, and like at some point they're just going to look at your history, and it will be like this guy at the like past 6 events is played has been called out for slow playing, and then they're just going to say, sorry buddy, I can't tell if you actually slow played, but your history tells me enough, so like you get game lost or whatever. And then I think that's also important as a way of like punishing
I
cheaters.
think the main thing you are. I agree with that, but I think the main thing you're not mentioning about the Riot ID is as soon as I know my opponent Riot ID, I'm checking OPGG to see if he's cooked at League. If my dude is gold or below, I'm winning that match.
Like you
I
can
am
talk
losing.
to him about that Yasuo game from yesterday where he went 0-12
Oh
and
my
then you won
dude.
the best of 3.
Damn, my dude sits down and just ran it down with Yasuo before the tournament. And he sits down and puts out Yasuo. I'm making sure his 0-10 becomes 0-12 after the match,
And
right?
you are role playing that guy that was 12-0 in his game, and you're like, oh, I stomped your butt yesterday, I'm going to do the same today. 100% win rate strategy, by the way.
Oh my god! Imagine I need to go back to ranked, so I don't get cooked when, because I'm gonna get flamed. Oh my god! I need to rank back up.
But like it's fine.
Okay.
We are retired league players, and court games is the way. Thanks for the follow, guys. By the way, I'm not like thanking you because we are having such an interesting talk, but like thank you guys. So regarding Timo, I probably did underestimate Timo a bit in my own ranking, thinking it was more of a gimmicky deck than anything else. And it seems to be doing well, which I'm not someone that's going to say I was right all the way if I was wrong. So Timo is probably something that I had slept on, mostly because of this new like Mundo centric build that we've seen pop up in recent events. So you probably have more
So
experience than I do facing that Timo build. Do you have any like big takeaways from this weekend regarding Timo? Even though we know this guy was a cheater, Timo still got a decent conversion rate into Top Cut. So what are your thoughts on this build?
So China Timo is basically we play for Mundo, right? So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
all this is like. We have Grind the Win, we have Gust, we have Scrap Heap, Invert Timeline, all this bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
We're digging for Mundo and we're playing Mundo, which is a viable play line and solution, I guess. I'm not in love with it, but I think that's a good Timo. I like the hide card Timo, like with monks and all this stuff, more than I like the discard Mundo Turbo Timo, I guess.
Like, do you think Aiden Timo is actually good? Because like I
It's
don't
fine.
think it is. Like, yeah, it's fine.
It's
Like
fine,
every
but
deck
if I'm
in the
playing
current game
Timo, I'm
is
playing
fine, but I
Hidden
don't think
Timo.
it's
I'm not
good.
playing like Mundo Turbo, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, you could play something else for sure. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
think.
it's a like super good deck neither.
I mean, I think both Timos are really good into E, or at least very decent because they're purple. So you have access to gust the early drops, and they have to basically buff them to prevent that from happening. You have Fight or Flight, you have Rebuke post side that they can defy either. I hate Invert Timeline, but I guess for Aura it's fine because you can actually discard the hand and
Yeah.
kind of cook them because even if you don't discard Aura, you can discard a lot of big guys and make them run out of units very fast. Um,
But then I would say, like, maybe I'm biased, right? But I would say, like, if you're going to play Mundo Turbo, why not just play Ari, which like has access to like mostly same tools, like
oh,
a lot of great item cards, but also like DeFi and like green spells. I do
okay.
think like this
I'll
build
ask you a
is a
simple
bit on
question, right?
the worst Ari side.
If you're playing Ari Mundo Turbo, you put Mundo on whatever battlefield. I put the other one and I stack it. What do you do?
On Ari,
Yeah, you're Ari. I go to the battlefield where Mundo is not. What do you do to prevent me from winning from holding next turn?
you suppose Kaisa is faster than Ari, which I think is like if you're playing a slower
No,
Ari
I'm
than
saying
Kaisa,
like
just don't play Ari.
I'm
Like.
saying like if Mundo is on the left battlefield and I go to the right
Yeah,
battlefield.
but then if I do this, I'm on 6 and you're on 4, right? So like,
I mean, I don't think you're dropping Mundo and also be you're ahead in points. You can't both turbo through your deck and score points and drop Mundo and be faster than
I mean,
Kaisa.
I
You can
think
do
you
all that.
can like using cheap cards like Sprite Co, Sprite Mother, like these cheap accelerates. I think,
But then you're not okay, yeah. But then you're not cycling through your deck, so your Mundo is gonna be very small.
but then like Mundo is more of a finisher, both in Timers and Airy, than it is of a tempo card. Like you get to like 5-6 points whatever way you can faster than your opponent. While hiding consults, stacking deck in Teamer, using discipline in like Airy, whatever, and then you drop Mundo to close it out. But I don't think it's like
You still you still need to win, and if you're not on 7 when you push with Mundo, you lose because the guy is gonna go on the other battlefield, and you're not gonna be able to double conquer because you have no fight or flight to bring back the Mundo. You don't have the Razor Wind to move it. You don't have Flash to move him. You don't have a Tide Turner. So you can't actually play the same game as
I could
Timo,
see it
which is
being a bit
basically
better
I
at
push with
Mundo
Mundo
in
on
the
the
round.
right, and then I move it to the left, and do that every turn, and you win by scoring both battlefield with Mundo or holding. Ari can only hold with Mundo. She can't push 2 battlefields and
Yeah,
have Mundo.
exactly. Yeah. This
You
I
have
agree with.
Watcher, but then you're like deramping, and it's
But
too many moving
you
pieces.
should not play Watcher in my opinion in Blue Airy.
Also,
In Green Airy.
Also I think purple has a lot of cards to slow down the opponent, so you are consistently getting to that Mundo. You have access to both Stupefy and Stack Deck. You have Traveling Merchant, which is pretty good, and you have Fight or Flight, which is amazing because if they out Mundo, you can save it by bringing him back. So against like yellow decks, for example, if you don't have Fight or Flight and such cards, you can't actually save Mundo from anything, and he
Yeah.
just dies.
Yeah, makes sense. So like a bit of different gameplay into like riding Mundo around compared to using it to ult. This I would agree with. On the other end, I was pretty surprised to see like such a big commit to Mundo in a deck that, in my opinion, could function without Mundo and then just draw Mundo and like use it.
Oh, China Timo plays Mundo. That's it. That's all I know. I know
Yeah.
China Timo is Mundo Turbo. I don't
But
know
like I was
what the
surprised to
thought
not
process
see
is. But
cards like Blast Confi. Like when you can play Blast Confi for 1 energy Eden, that is a hell of a card into Yi. in my opinion.
if you compare Blast Confe and Purple Timo, they're the exact same.
Yeah, so why not have more of them? Like they are
But then you
strong
play
cards.
Purple Timo, right? He's a better card when you don't have to hide it. I think. But he's not playing to hide. He's just playing
Yeah, yeah.
Consult as a draw card. I'm surprised to see 2 Consult instead of 3.
Yeah,
And
to dig for Mundo.
I'm surprised to see Flash in the main deck. I don't think Flash is that good in Window. In Timo.
It's just like
That's it.
yeah,
Everything
to
else
play
is like
Mundo.
makes sense to me if you're. I don't know if I like this deck, but if you're trying to turbo out Mundo, that looks pretty good.
Yeah,
I
so,
would maybe run Retreat in the main deck. I guess that's one of the things. Maybe
yeah,
Retreat could be pretty
that's
good.
a hell of a strong card. I agree with
But
that.
if you try to like turbo out Mundo, this is decent.
Like instead of Mutation, which I hate as a card. Like it's cool when you're all done and set up and like you have Mundo and you can make like 2 bodies worth 1,000,000 might. But like,
I mean, there is
if you're
another
playing from
timeline where
behind,
this
Mutation
guy,
is shit.
this guy doesn't get caught cheating and just wins the tournament, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
He wasn't that far away.
Yeah, of course.
So that
So we do believe that like Timo Mundo Timo, whatever you want to call it, is decent. In my opinion, not one of the best decks, but like can compete and also surprise opponents. What do you think about like Aiden Timo?
I think it's good. I think Hidden Timo is decent. It has the same strength into Yi because you play purple, and I think it's more fun to play. And I think I think it's maybe more consistent than Mundo, but weaker. I don't know how it does into Aura. Is my main thing. I don't know how
Yeah.
Hidden Timo does into Aura.
I think it's
it should
fast
be
enough,
fine.
no? Should be fast enough.
It should be fast enough. It should have. It has Rebuke. It has Fight or Flight, so we
Yeah,
should be
yeah.
able to just score enough early and prevent them from winning. So,
So
it
you
should
just
be
get
fine.
that extra turn that you need to close the
Yeah.
game, in my opinion.
I mean, I think we saw all the other lists thinking about we're playing into a lot of auras and Yi, and this one is I'm playing into a lot of Kaisars.
Yeah, and like Mundo is MVP in this matchup. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
we could see, like from my perspective of having made that previous power ranking, I think we could see a lot more Timo than I expected. Also because this deck looks
Especially
fun.
because it's cheap.
Yeah, cheap and looks fun. So people like fun decks. But like, I don't think from a competitive standpoint, I would put it in the like 100% top 5 legend in the game. Like, I think it's decent, can compete. But I would not say like, you want to win Houston, you should play this build. In my opinion.
Damn, I need to change my deck. I was bringing Timo. with
But
Mundo.
hidden
Like
one,
this-
so it's
exactly.
okay.
I was playing on cheating and bringing Timo. My bad.
Oh, great. I already were a toxic guy anyway. So by the way, let's talk about the better purple deck, or at least the expected better purple deck, which was Annie.
Yasuo. Oh, my bad.
I do think Yasuo is strong, but we're going to talk about that
No.
right after.
Annie
Annie was expected
I don't
to be
know,
one
I
of the
have
top
no
decks
words
for
about Annie.
Suns.
It's a cringe ass deck.
From a Kaisa
it's a
player
cringe-
perspective?
I mean, I think every player it's just like mono red aggro, unphase, all those bullshit decks. It's the
This
same.
is actually the only, like, in my opinion, the only working aggro deck in the format. Like, the only thing that we could call aggro, and that's consistent enough to be a competitive pick, in my opinion.
It's consistent enough, but not that consistent. You don't see a Vi ride the wind that often. You kind of miss it every fourth game, so it's kind of like as consistent as an Aurora deck in a way.
Yup.
I think this list is good. I like it.
Yeah,
I don't like
same.
timeline, but I don't like timeline and Vayne, but everything else is pretty good.
I think
I
you
think
have
I
to
like
play
the pop-
timeline. Does like sometimes you're only out to like get to that Vi or Vi right. Sorry, is that timeline, right?
I think you lose too much tempo playing timeline. I don't
You just play
because
to close the game. Like you are on like 7-8 routes. You have a Vi in end. You drop Vi. You go timeline. You pray to get the ride, and like that's about it.
I think my issue is if you're dropping timelines, you're probably losing that game anyway. Can we play another card that wins us the game? Maybe not. In that case, timeline is fine.
Yeah,
In
kind
every
of
other
like time
case,
warp. I mean, like it's another way to access these two guys. So
I think it's like a last hope. It's like, oh, my
yeah,
plan
exactly,
of going full aggro
exactly.
didn't work, so maybe I'd win with timeline.
Not
Yeah,
much to say though. I do like this list. It's pretty clean, pretty
I
close
think it's one of the
to.
cleanest skins I've seen since we started. It's pretty clean. I like the purple Timos, they're pretty good.
Yeah,
I don't
decent
like the one
cards.
timeline, but it's only a one-off. One rebuke main deck I could see. Side deck, I'm not sure.
I like
We
that
should
rear
have. Oh,
guards
we
inclusion.
should be playing Flash in this deck. There should be Flash instead of timeline for sure.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Vayne and timeline should be Flash. That's what I'm thinking. Everything else
Yeah,
is
I do
pretty
like
good.
the inclusion of Vayne though, because like this guy is on cases, Vayne, and rear guards, and like most of the time, and also sneaky, which is kind of an accelerate. And like most of the time in Annie, you need that extra accelerate to like push through the mid game and apply pressure. So I like the idea of going Vayne.
I'm not sure yet.
I did try
I
Annie,
don't. I
and
don't. I
I
don't
think I
love
was
Vayne.
missing
I
on this
think
sometimes.
it's a very It's kind of Blitzcrank, but red.
Nah, bro.
It
Blitzcrank
costs the
is
power
trash.
every turn.
Blitzcrank is ass.
It's not. I mean, I would say Vayne and Blitzcrank are very similar in terms of how they work and what they cost and what they offer.
Like if you bounce Vayne, but you also have the option of like having stick to the boards, which is
I
not the
mean,
case
yeah,
for
but she's
Blitzcrank.
too might. What are we talking about? Like she's just dying anyway.
Like I'm into like whatever rampy. I conquer with my turn one, and then drop Vayne and like kill their whatever is in there, like
Yeah, I mean,
clockwork,
like
whatever.
the 5 might pole that you can't kill, or
Yeah. Like,
the
if we're
2
talking
might
about
unit
Poro
that
for
becomes
sure, but
4
then you
and
have
any buff
Ghost.
becomes 6 and you can't kill. I mean,
Like
doesn't
I mean,
sound very good
you
to
beat
me.
Clockwork or Pit Rookie. You just
Without
don't
a
beat
buff,
Poro.
but if they have a buff, if they go turn 2 into turn 2 and have 2 mana, you can't push that.
Yeah, true. But like I think like this could probably be good to have it in a battlefield sometimes.
I prefer Flash. I would say if you
Yeah,
were
Flash
playing
is
this
good
deck,
too.
I would play
I
2
agree.
Flash instead of 2 Veins.
I would probably play 2 flashes too, and maybe like Rebuke in the side. And
Rebuke is fine. I think was a one-off. Rebuke in the main deck can be very
not a
good.
bad chord. Yeah, not a bad chord. I agree.
Yeah.
But kind of like the list though. That being said, the deck kind of underperformed compared to what were the expectations. I
I
did
don't know
not
how
expect
Annie
it to be
does
a
into
strong
Yi.
deck, like
Do
hyper
do you
strong.
know how Annie is into Yi?
What? Sorry?
How good is Annie into Yi? Can you actually win consistently?
No. You can't. You can't. So basically, you are winning if
Defy
they.
is pretty hard,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Exactly. So that was my biggest takeaway playing any. I was thinking I was doomed into green like a lot of the time because if they have access to either Defy or Rune Prison onto Vi, then game is over and there's nothing you can do about it.
Rune Prison on Vi. Oh, that's true. I forgot about this.
Yeah.
You
Rune
can
Prison
defy
on Vi
the
is
Ride
like
the Wind.
game over.
Oh, I was thinking Defy earlier in the game, like preventing you from like
Yeah,
pushing
but
back the unit,
like
like
they
fight or
just
flight
have
and
one
stuff.
of these two chords, and then they just have to wait for Ride the Wind to win the game, basically. So I don't think it's good into Yi, but you could still win if they don't have access to one of the two. Into Kaisa though, you could surprise them a lot of the time, like trying to go hyper fast.
I think you're pretty good into Kaisa, especially
Yeah.
if the guys are playing the new like the Kaisa from the winner. I think we're kind of cooked with this list into Annie.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie.
yeah, I think so. So, like, pretty interesting from this standpoint that we are able to have a deck that can beat Kaisa on a consistent basis. And in the rest of the field, I think you are 50-50, if not above, as the only properly working aggro deck. So I would say I'm rather surprised to not see more Ennies making a deep run. Maybe because of his, also maybe because like as you were saying before, the top players were either on Keisa or Yi or Time. And so like there were no
Probably just
like
Kaisa. Yeah, I
super
don't
top
think there was
players onto
I don't
Annie.
think the top players were playing Timo that much. I think it was mostly Kaisa and Yi.
Yeah. So like none of them on Annie also could explain some of the positioning. Like if like Annie is still it's an aggro deck but still a tough one. Like it's not aggro from some other games, which is like just bodies, and I win the game and there's not much you can do about it and it's like unskilled as fuck.
Okay.
Annie is kinda tough if you want to have a consistent win rate. Like you have auto win games, but you have games where you have to like burst your brain thinking of a way to get your combo through.
Yeah, I mean, I think Annie is. I'm not happy if I face Annie no matter when because I think I can always lose.
Yep.
I'd prefer to face Aura than Annie because Aura is less likely to just blow me out of the water. It feels like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm, but Annie, it's really hit or miss. If they don't see by Ride the Wind in one of the three games, they're probably losing.
Yeah, agreed.
I think also the dice is very important when you're playing Annie. If you go first, you're much,
Yeah,
much,
yeah,
much
yeah.
stronger than if you go second.
You have a way
Annie
better
going
win
first is
rates.
very scary. Annie going second is not that scary, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah, agreed.
Unless
That
they
being
have Tekken.
said,
Tekken is pretty good.
I think like now that we know Kaisa can beat Yi and we have like consistent results to prove this, because like from the previous regional to like this one of the biggest standpoints was Kaisa as a hard time into Yi, which is still kind of true, but like it's definitely playable, and like Omega brought a way to the table to like beat it consistently, at least try to. So like I think we are going to see less Yis in Houston that we are seeing in like China right now. And I think if we have less Yis in the format, Annie could be something we want to look at as a potential underdog for Houston, in my opinion.
What, Leona? No, what deck do you play?
No, no, Annie, not Leona.
Annie.
Annie. I think could be a potential underdog for Houston. Like if there's an Annie in top four, because there's less Yi, and then he smashed like a lot of cases, I would not be like extremely surprised. I would be like, oh, okay, that's something I could have thought about. No.
Let's put it this way. I wouldn't play Annie myself. I think it's too unreliable as a deck. But if I see an Annie having a good day, like winning a lot of dices, mostly
Yeah.
I think the dice and seeing like the Visor win combo in the end game, she could have a good time and perform.
Yeah.
I don't see Annie winning the tournament. I don't see Annie winning ever. Like,
Nah, not winning the tournament, but like making a deep run to top 8, top 4 could happen. Whereas like when we were talking about Victor, I was like, I would be extremely surprised. So interesting that we did not see that many Annies, but like there are some reasons that we explained.
Yasuo. Oh my god, I love Yasuo.
I do love Yasuo too. I think this guy has somewhat of an idea of how to play the deck.
Oh
I
my
think
god,
he just did not go
this
full
list is
on.
ass.
You
Oh,
don't
no.
like this list?
Oh.
I do have.
Oh my god, I mean, what are we doing with Nocturne in this deck? That's not good.
Don't you think you could play some sort of high roll Yasuo? I think you could.
I mean,
Like free
you
cheap
could,
bodies
but
Yasuo.
is it good? I don't think it is. I think I'd rather not play Nocturne, not play. Oh my god, we're playing Vision Pearl, Mystic Pearl instead of Stalwart Pearl.
Yeah, to
Because
try
we
and
want to
drop
see
the
Nocturne,
Nocturne.
and it's so unlikely. Like, this is just not happening ever.
So basically,
Let's-
like to just to give you a bit of context, you guys. The bigger like concept behind this, I should like drop the pen. By the way, give me a second. I'll stop the pen because like right now I need to write things down.
Basically, Yasuo says I move units,
So
and
this
Nocturne
works
says when
together.
I'm revealed from the top deck, I get summoned for free, basically. But the problem is the only two cards that actually reveal from top deck are Pearl and Stack Deck and the Battlefield when you conquer.
So
And it's
this
not
is the
enough.
axis, the big axis, and then I think if you see Nocturne, you just like pitch it with this, and then you are most likely siding out Nocturne after game 1 and you're done using this guy. So I could see that as a nice high roll potential to win game 1, and then game 2 and 3 you have a more stable deck. What do you think?
I much rather just play Scrap Heap and Zone Warrants and play a lot of buffs like he's doing and try to just outvalue the opponent in a way. I think
Yeah.
that's a more reliable plan.
But that's also a plan that does not win into Kesa, in my opinion. Maybe this guy,
But I
if he
don't-
ends up high rolling game 1, can win into Kesa. Like, this guy, Rasha, is almost free. And then if you happen to
I mean,
see a
he's
Nocturne...
really not free with this list, right? I mean, we don't have anything to dig except the Stack Deck and the Merchant, and it's not enough to make it like very cheap. I think this list is okay, but it's not great. It's kind of cooked. I don't know if it's the best Yasuo we can. Also, I like White Flame. I think Faithful and White Flame are very strong.
Yeah, they are just overall strong cards, right?
and we have no only one white flame. When Yasuo can ramp into white flame and just play it and slam 16 attack into either battlefield, that's very strong.
But
That's a
then
very good
if
card.
you're onto like White Flame Thiefhawk, might as well play Yi, right?
I mean, there are some things Yasuo has that he doesn't. I mean, I'm very surprised we are not seeing Gust and we are not seeing Rebuke from this guy.
I did uh, I did 8 cost when I was playing yesterday though.
No. I mean, we need it somewhere. One, two, maybe. But mostly it's Rebuke. Rebuke and Fight or Flight are kind of necessary into Yi, I think.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Oh, by the way,
We're
you
playing
guys are
purple with
a
none
lot
of the good
to
purple
see us
cards.
talk about Yasuo. Thank you guys for being here. Welcome on stream. We are here with Randy to talk about Shanghai Aftermath. What do we think before we get into that Yasuo list? That we give away one of your Metafy guides because
Yeah, we can do
there are
this.
so many
Sure.
of them. So like I'll just put it on screen. You can talk about it, and I'll try to see how I can make a raffle work.
Okay, I'm a terrible salesman, guys. The guides are good if you want to play Kai'Sa, and you're not going to
Wait,
use
wait,
them.
wait,
If you
wait,
go to
wait.
Houston, don't buy the guides.
Wasn't
Okay.
wasn't your IRL job to be a salesman before?
No, I was training people who were actually salesmen and managing car dealership.
All of this while being a terrible salesman, huh?
Exactly. I don't have to be a good salesman. I just have to be good at managing businesses.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
I don't teach them how to sell. I tell them what to sell and what is selling and how to train and manage their employees, basically. I don't tell them how to sell cars. They do it better than I do. They've been doing it for a long time. So yeah, basically, we'll give away one of the two guides. If you want to play Kai'Sa, if you want to play Yi, you can check out the free version as well. There is a lot in there. Enough to get you started anyway. And the big ones have like matchup, which is very big. You will save a lot of time instead of figuring out all the matchup by yourself. You have matchup, you have cheat sheet for the siding, you have more explanation, complete game plan. I think if you're starting from zero or you're just picking up the game, it's gonna save you a shit ton of time. And if you already play the game and just wanna get better, it's also gonna be very good for you. If you're already a champion and you win everything, I mean, at this point, why are you buying a guide anyway?
And so this guide is $30. You guys can buy it with the Catchoose 20 code.
Oh my god, Catchoose 20.
And then you get 20%
I feel like
refund.
a salesman now. I made a code for you. That's crazy.
Yeah, because I'm big influencer, you know, you have to. Gamba time, exactly. So you guys can probably type exclamation mark enter in chat and enter the raffle, I think. Can someone try to see if this works? Because if this does work, then we are getting ready to pull it, and then you'll have like whatever time to do this, and then we're going to pick someone. Enter. So what if I do this and then this? Does this work? Should work, right? Waiting for giveaway to start. Okay, so I need to start it. If I do this. Okay, so now you guys can do exclamation mark enter. And that should work properly. Sorry, please do it again, guys.
I got the Gamba time. It's Gamba time.
Yeah. And I think now you guys are in there. Yeah, you guys are in there. So feel free. You have quite some time. We are going to discuss Yasuo. And once we're done discussing Yasuo...
If you win and you left the stream, just DM me on Twitter. I'll know who won because we'll I don't know when we do the draft.
Yeah. Either Randy or me, right? So you guys can feel free to enter the giveaway. This is... So just to give you a bit more of an objective standpoint, because I'm like... someone that also wrote guides on like mostly One Piece, but like I did wrote guides, sorry. I did also read some of them. I'm not a big guide reader because I like to think about like theory myself, but still I'm some kind of like knowledgeable about guides. And this is probably one of the best guides that I've ever read so far, in the sense that it's complete. It's like going very deep into some of the specific requirements of matchups and stuff. So these are two big things in there. And to me, the biggest thing in this guide, which is something that I'd never seen in another guides and is extremely important, is you have votes in there. So when you buy the guide, you have access to not only the written theory, but also like games to see it being applied directly into like actual games, like be it tournament or scrimmage, whatever. But like he's saying, okay, so you have to do this in this specific matchup, and then you can just like after finishing that chapter, jump to the video of that matchup, and then you have a game in which Randy is going like, okay, so in this matchup I did this because as you saw in theory, you should do this and then this and play around that spot and so on and so on. So like this is to me a big plus, a big pro of that guide. And I really do think that it's something that we're going to see become a trend in top tier guides, because like video is such a big plot in like applying the theory you just like got from the guides. And
So
also
far,
something that we did
everyone
not
who has
mention.
bought it and came back to me said it was good.
So
So
also
far,
something
good.
that we did not mention is that you are updating that guide. Like what, weekly?
Not. I don't know. It's probably more than weekly at this point, but it's probably gonna be fewer updates now that. I try to add everything. The Kaisa guide is pretty complete. I want to make a bit more, a few more VODs, I think, and then it's probably gonna be just updated about like meta deck lists, side deck changes, and that's it.
And yeah, that's going to like save you some
Oh
time.
my god! Some guy in the chat asked if Ari is playable.
Ha ha ha. We are getting there. Yo,
It's
Baylor.
playable.
Feel free
It's
to stay on
playable,
the
but-
chat. It's really playable, and we are going to talk about it because right now, let's give them a bit
Yeah,
of
let's
time
continue.
to.
Stop with the Sailman's talk and just continue.
Yeah.
Let's
So I'll just put it like somewhere on top of the stream, so you guys can still like enter the raffle, and we're
And
going to.
even if you lose and you want to know more about Kaisa or Yi, you can just go on the MetaFi and there is like free stuff.
Yeah,
and
so
it's
I'll
pretty
just-
good. I
I'll
tried
just
to
put
make
it in
it
the
pretty good,
chat.
like the free stuff.
I'll just pin it here.
You have the deck list, you
Oh,
have
my bad.
explanation for the cards, so if you're just getting started, just it's gonna be a good read. It's gonna take you 10-15 minutes for each guide. Like the free guides are 10-15 minutes to read.
Yeah, and like
And there is like deck lists, there is like card choice explanation, battlefield choices.
So overall,
Yeah.
extremely interesting. So let's jump onto the. We talked about ESU kind
Yeah,
of,
we did.
but like let's jump onto the, like starting now. I think once we are past any, we are talking about like the leftovers, right? Decks
Or
that
the
we are.
trash decks, the bad decks,
Yeah,
the one we
like-
don't wanna play.
Yeah. So like let's just be a bit faster on them, and maybe we'll stop and talk about Ari because we both have strong opinions.
Okay, so if you
about
wanna know
Ari.
stuff about, I'm not gonna talk about Darius Hook. I'm preparing a guide on Hook.
Alright.
I'm getting help from like two of my friends who test with me and play Hook. They're way better at Hook than me. I know the deck. I know how to face the deck. I know how to play it, but I'm not an expert. So I'll be reading this. But if you wanna check out who like Darius Hook stuff, Prismat won like 2 tournaments with it and is pretty good at it. And yeah, he has like good lists. You type Prismat's Darius Hook list, and it's a better list than this one. This one is shit. Don't play this. Let's just keep it immediately.
You have
All
two
of this
hooks
is
in the
trash.
main and one hook in the sideboards.
All of this is trash. Let's get to the next list. I don't look at this one.
Yeah, so let's not talk about this special list and let's keep the intel
Let
for
me
the...
let me link in a good person, like a good hook list in the
Yeah,
chat.
feel free. I'm just going to talk about the
This is
overall
better.
theory of the deck, so
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys can have
Do
the
you want me to do it or do you want to do it?
What?
Do you want me to do it or do you want to
Oh,
do
I
it
thought you
yourself?
wanted to keep it private. You feel free, go for it.
Oh, so basically, Hook Darius, pretty simple. We play a lot of token. Like this is not actually the deck we want to play for Hook Darius. This is aggro Darius, and it doesn't really work. It didn't convert this one. I think this guy was the only one top cut. Makes sense. China is not playing Hook Darius.
Alright.
Baited Hook is a card that says, pay 1 energy, 1 power, destroy one of your own minion, and you look at the top 5 and play a card with 1 more might. So the idea is, we play a lot of cards that generate value when they're played, or that get more might when the game goes long. So we play Spectral Matron, we play all the cards that generate tokens, all this stuff, and we want to hook them to get bigger cards, like Kaisa Survivor, because we can accelerate it from the hook. We can play Darius, we can play Draven, because it's only 3 might on paper, but it gets bigger, and the hook just looks at the might on the paper card. We play Spectral Matron to resummon stuff from the grave, all this stuff. Hook is good because it gives you a lot of value and continuously gives you value throughout the game uh, from the top of your deck. So you don't have to play extra cards from your hand. So the longer the game goes on, the more value you get. And in Riftbound, what's bad with token decks usually is like you push with a token and then it's gonna die because it's very small. But Hook Darius, actually, just you push with a token and then you kill it with the hook and you get a valuable unit in your back lane, which is very good. And then you have like the stratagem and all the good stuff to beat Aura in the side deck, like the Salvage and the Imperial Decree. That's basically Hook Darius. The issue with Hook Darius, when you don't see Hook, you have all these shitty ass cards in your deck and they suck to draw.
Yeah, that's the big problem. So, like, I agree with everything that you said. That was a pretty fair overall view of what you can do when you high roll and when you low roll. If we ever find a way to put somewhat of a hook in the champion zone, this deck is cracked. Like,
I think if we get better units and good consistency card in set 2 for yellow and red,
too.
Hook
Like
is
something
gonna
that
be
we
pretty
are
good.
missing is draw power. We have almost no draw power except like Eden Blade, but then like it's kind of hard to set up. But like yeah, basically it's so far it's more of a high rolly deck than a real pick in my opinion. Like you could do things with it, but like I don't think you win a regional on Hook. That being said, it's extremely fun. People also tend to think it's extremely skill intensive, which I kind of disagree with. Like most of the time, like you have curve or you don't, and then some
You
games get skilled because
okay?
like you can kind of play because you don't draw Matron into Draven into Vayne. But like I think most of the games are solved by either you draw Hook or you don't, and then
I think there are a lot of decisions you have to make that are based on the percent chance
yeah,
of
like it's just being good
seeing a
at
unit
doing
from the
math.
top
It's
deck.
not like that hard,
Is
right?
it's being good at doing maths and taking good gambles from the top of your deck because you stack your deck. You also need to take notes. It's very specific. It's for some people, not everyone. You need to take notes when you play this deck. It's very important because you stack the bottom of your deck and you don't actually know what's there. You need to take a lot of small gambles. I think this deck feels terrible to play. It's good, but it's very bad in terms of like dopamine hits compared to, for example, Aura. Aura is like very bad to play, but when you hit Aura on curve, it's very good and you
Yeah,
feel amazing.
yeah, for
Hook,
sure.
you're gonna not see Hook. You're gonna hit like bullshit off your top deck. It's gonna be terrible. It's a terrible time, and you hate your life. And I think this is the reason why Hook is not gonna be that played. Even though I think it's gonna be underplayed compared to its strengths, and I
Yeah,
think
but like
it's one
it's
of the
not that
better
strong
decks.
either. Like
Well, I think it's
its
one of the better
ceiling
decks.
is extremely
It's up
high
there.
and its floor is extremely low. And like that's not the
It's
kind of thing you want to have in your
it's
hands if you're so good at the game, right?
it's still a token deck that does fairly decent into E, I think.
Yeah, but like
And you have a
draw
good matchup.
Matron and Draven in your opening end and
Oh,
then
I
like
mean,
game is
Hook
lost.
with like 2 reigns in the Kaisa decks is gonna be tough to play. I wouldn't
Yeah,
pick Hook personally.
yeah. So I don't
But
think
yeah,
this deck is going to see success. Kind of the same as like Yellow Victor. It's like yeah, you're going to maybe snag a top cut spot, but like you're not going to get like a deep run in there. Would be
but
my take on
if you
Hook.
like it and you want to play it, I think it's fine. I think it's
Yeah,
fairly
and
good.
like
I think
let's
it could perform better, but we're not seeing it perform because no, like they're not playing the correct deck.
yeah, for sure.
Basically.
Like let's settle this once and for all. We are only talking about like a pure performance perspective of trying to win regionals. If you want to play like almost any deck in the game and win your locals with, you should probably do it.
I
'Cause,
have a
like
tier list. I have a tier list. I explained everything.
yeah,
What you can play at locals if you want.
but like not
Ah.
many decks are trash ass unplayable. Some of them, but like not many of them. Like to be fair, if there's not many cases at your local, you could pick Leona and like stomp everyone and feel like a god because like Leona is far from a trash deck, while it's one of the like less represented ones, and we don't see it topping at regionals. So like it's always a question of like what tournament are you looking at, basically. Listen. Well,
And
we could. Sorry, you had something you wanted to add.
no, I was gonna say, listen. What do you
Yeah.
think of listen?
So Listen,
Let me
Listen,
ask
I
you.
think there's only one interesting thing that you could do with Listen, which is not playing Mastery, and it's exactly not what this guy has been doing because I like don't like this list.
I think if you play Lee Sin like Master Yi, you're gonna lose.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
like this league's better than all the Lee Sin decks that try to be Master Yi.
Yeah,
I think Lee Sin,
that's for sure. In my
I
opinion,
think Lee Sin is good.
the only good way to play Listen is to play a sort of like accelerate builds using like orange Listens, first mates, potentially wall ups, but like more than anything, the Wild Claw Shaman, which I think is an extremely strong card that's underrated as of now. I can show it to you guys if Pink Orc
I
is
think
working.
Lee Sin is good. It's much better than what people think because
That's
it's very
nice.
unrefined and no one is playing it. I think Lee Sin Champion, like the orange Lee Sin, is an extremely good card. I think it's amazing.
Discord I think is extremely strong if you are able to consistently generate buffs, which Listen is doing, and having a free 4/4 accelerate without burning a power is like kind of broken in the mid game.
I think this card is pretty strong. Yeah, I think it's okay. It's almost good enough. I don't know if it is.
Like I mean, if you
Um,
are not having like in set where you don't have a consistent way to buff, it's not good, right? But like in Listen specifically, I think this card is very underexploited right now. It's like a super strong turn 2 that can deal with most likely all of the turn ones in the formats, except like Yeez and stuff. But like you get me. And that also gives you the opportunity to value cards like Orange Listen a lot, because then you have free buffs to push, and then this guy gives a lot of value. That being said, this guy is on a sort of shield list with like block and like guardian and
I
whatever.
don't hate it.
I
Like to be,
do
I
hate
think
it.
that
Like you
list.
can't win into Kaisa for sure. It's
Hmm?
impossible to win into
I
Kaisa.
I think it's mid as fuck into Kaisa. That's true, but I don't think this list is that bad. I think it's better than what I've seen previously. I will say it this
Yeah,
way.
yeah, this I agree
I
with.
think there are a lot of good things in this list.
It's
I
better
think
than most
Zonia,
listens list.
Zonia is
Yeah, yeah,
amazing in Lee Sin because you keep the buffs when you die.
yeah, exactly.
The mushroom guy is pretty strong. He's a good card. Issue
The
is even
mushroom
buffed, he
guy.
lose like the elder. The guy was like 4/4
What the
for
fuck?
4, and then when buff
Mushroom?
gets oh, it's yeah. I don't know why he looks
I
like
gotcha.
the
Yeah, yeah, that's a very strong chord. I do love these chords.
the mushroom guys like in Baldur's Gate. He kind
The
of looks like them.
mushroom guy. Yeah, that's extremely strong. I agree with that.
It's a very good card. The problem is it still dies to Kaisa, the Falling Star, which
Yeah,
is it feels bad. I think Lee Sin is good. I think it offers something every other legend cannot do, which is spend extra energy for actual immediate value. The issue with Lee Sin is it's missing a few cards. It doesn't. Or like the problem is turn 1, you're playing a 2-drop, and it's always gonna be worse than just playing a 2-drop in Master Yi. Turn 2, you're also playing a card that's gonna be worse than Master Yi, because even if you buff it, it's not as good as having +2 in defense. And then turn 3, you start being able to play the big Lee Sin, all those cards which are very interesting, but it's kind of very late.
yeah.
And also Lee Sin is extremely slow. You need to play the card, buff it, send it to a battlefield, and you do that once a turn. You don't. If you had Watcher or such a card in the
Yeah,
color,
that's why I think the accelerate build is
if we had a
interesting.
showstopper in Lee Sin,
Yeah.
I think the deck would be very good.
Exactly.
Or like at
But
least
instead
playable.
we have Dragon Rage shit, which this guy is playing too often. Like I'm amazed because like
Yeah.
this
We-
card is not only trash but also unplayable into any green
Oh
deck.
wait, I talk about Ground Rage in a bit. We did talk about Victor already. Don't play
Continue.
Victor if there are the decks of your locals. I think that's a
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We talked about Victor.
Um,
You can catch the VOD. We did the
Dragon Rage is
full
really
session.
good into Aura. That's why he's playing it.
Yeah, yeah. I get that, but like into other decks, this card is like trash as hell. And even Auroras play DeFi these days. So like, meh.
I
Kinda
mean,
don't like
all
it.
the Aura are not like Yi Aura. Also, they don't always have the DeFi mana,
Yeah.
right? So that's like.
Also,
I think if you can get a good spot for Dragon Rage into Aura, you're winning that game.
one of my big problems for Listen is that like every deck in the format feels like it has its kind of like broken cards. Kaisa is like Falling Star, of course, and so on and so on. And like Kaisa, Falling Stars, you want to play 3 off. Like it's so good. The subsetly broken cards for Listen, you don't want to pay 3 off because they stack pretty bad. And then like if you play one of these, then it's not consistent, so might as well not play it. And I'm talking
I
like
think
two
Lee Sin.
chords. Mistfall, first of all, is like cracked as fuck. So like when you buff a unit, you can pay a power and exhaust Mistfall to ready your unit. So basically, it's accelerate for one rune on every unit in the game. So this is correct. And the other one is Blade whatever, like the green cord that gives deflect to everyone that's buffed. So
Oh
like
yeah,
this cord,
it's
Spirit
really good. And you
Refuge.
also have the card
Uh,
that
yeah.
doubles the buffs.
Yeah.
The issue is it's extremely slow.
Yeah, and like you
So
don't want to
slow, and the
see
deck
so
in the
many of
meta,
these at the
like
same time.
Kaisa and Annie and Darius and all the token decks are so fast, and
Yeah, exactly.
you're playing so slowly, and that doesn't work.
But like you have super strong cards, just like the deck is overall too slow right now. But with
Oh my
like
god!
as you
And
said,
that,
kind of like Fox like additions in upcoming sets, this deck could be somewhat decent. Because like if buff gets good, then Lee Sin gets good, right?
I mean, and that fucking legend looks fucking amazing. Like
Yeah,
Lee Sin legend is crap. I
that
want
ON
it so
legend
bad.
is
I'm gonna
sick.
buy this.
Yeah, this
Oh
is
my
sick.
god, it looks amazing.
This
Yeah.
is pretty sick. Final standpoint on this, do we expect it to have success in the immediate future? I don't think so.
I wouldn't be surprised if someone brought this into Houston and did fine with it. I
Like
wouldn't expect
64,
him to
yes,
go
but
to that
like
one.
not bigger than that, I think.
I think there's like you could play green Lee Sin and like full buff it and tower with it. The problem is you really lose extremely hard to all the yellow decks,
Yeah.
and you kind of lose to Aura as well. But you
And
win into Kaisa very consistently.
it's too slow, way too slow.
Oh, it beats Kaisa, but it loses to
Yeah.
like to a lot of other decks, and it's like 100% lose rate.
I propose that we skip Volibear, Jinx, Garen, because we'll be
Okay,
talking about
Garen,
them like
Jinx,
later
don't
on.
play
Ranking.
them. They're really bad.
Yeah.
Lux, don't play it. It's bait. It's bad. All the big spells are bad in the game. Lux is making you play bad cards, so don't play her. She's terrible.
Yeah, just a quick advertisement before we start digging into like the remaining ones. Don't forget like that you can type !enter in the chat to win a free $30 guides copy of the Kaisa guide from Randy, which is one of the best guides I've ever seen out there. So don't forget that you can type !
It's the best
enter in the
Kaisa
chat.
guide until I make another one.
Yeah,
Let's do it this way.
most likely, yeah. So Ari, someone was asking about Ari, and like I think it was Baylor that just typed enter, so perfect timing. So I'm going to talk Ari, then you can like add your 2 cents on it, right? Because that's one of the decks I've been advocating for the most. I think Ari is extremely underexploited as of now. Is one of the best decks in the current format. I'm not talking like beating cases and Yi, right? But I'm talking if you're thinking about third, fourth place, Ari should for sure be in that discussion, in my opinion. Mostly talking about blue lists though. We started off as seeing like green lists, so green Ari with time warp and stuff. One, because it's funnier, two, because it's easier. In my opinion, the best list is a blue one. I've been preaching this for like months now, and we are finally seeing the switch trigger on people playing like a lot of cheap spells and blue Ari and making value of the legend effect. So this I'm pretty happy about. I still think this list did not full commit into it, which I kinda don't like, but still we are getting closer, right? Two things I think could be a problem for this deck in Shanghai, and the reason why it did not perform, because don't get me wrong, Ari was one of the worst performing decks of the whole events. First thing is you need to be extremely skilled to play blue Ari properly. It's extremely hard to sequence properly because like you have so many opportunities to draw mid chain to like bait your opponent. Sometimes even just thinking about the chords, not having it in hand, but like sequencing so that your opponent thinks you're on it could change the outcome of the game. So it's extremely hard to play, and also it's extremely goes with it like, but it's extremely harsh on mistakes. Like if you have to play so few bodies that if you lose a body because you made a mistake, you might start losing the game from that point. And like both these things combined, I think scare away players. And then, as you mentioned, top players were focused on Yi and Keise, which is rather logical, right? So like combine not top players plus like harsh on mistakes, and you have a deck that's good but not topping events. So that would be my 2 cents on this deck. But I still think it's extremely strong in the current format. Might be a bit tougher with Reigns, because Reigns is not something that we like when we are on Airy. But I still think this deck could perform very well into Houston and upcoming events. What's your take, Randy?
Oh, I think everyone who goes to Houston should be playing Ari. I would love that from you guys. Um, okay, I'll put it this way. You have like 10 fucking units in your deck. I'm playing Falling Star 2 die. What are you doing? Like, you're not scoring 8 points with 8 units in your deck. There's just no way.
Yeah, so that's the big problem for Airy. It's the
I
Kaisa
think
matchup.
Ari just instantly lose to Kaisa, and the dice is so important into E. It's.
Well, there
I think it's
are.
a. I don't even think Ari is. Wait. Let me. Let me check what I said exactly. I think I actually said that
I
Ari
think
is actually a D. I don't even think I put Ari as a B tier deck.
alrighty. I think
I put Ari. Oh no, I put Ari in A tier. Oh my god, I'm coping. What the fuck am I
bro,
saying?
I like it. I like it. You're on the train. I think Ari is strong into everything that's might oriented, like basically combat oriented. Ari is extremely strong. And now the big problem is you have to deal with Kaisa, which like once again I'll say this for like kind of every deck, but like if you're talking about a deck that's not Mastery or Kaisa, you are most likely losing to Kaisa. So I think we should stop using this as an excuse to not explore other builds. Because like, well, yeah, you're losing to Kaisa, but maybe you could make it like possible to win, and that could be enough for this deck to be decent. Also, something that I think is positive for the deck is that right now, with like the Falling Star being a problem and the Warp being in every list, Time Warp, I'm talking, you were kinda wanting to play Windwall, but also in other matchups it's trash. Now that people will be adding Reigns in the main, you 100% want to play Windwall in the main deck, in my opinion, because like it now has so many strong interactions into Kaisa that it could win you the game. Because like if they go warp, and that's something that I do often, by the way, if they go warp and you go war, you won the game. And like most of the time, I was talking about bluffing. Most of the time, I'm just giving away free warp spots. Like they are holding and getting to 7 and they have 10 runes. I know they're going to play warp. So I just keep the win wall and say pass, and then they just warp and I win the game because I wall it. So like I think
I think what you're saying is exactly what I think about Ari. It's you will win against bad players for sure.
yeah,
But
that's a
I
sure
think
thing.
a good player will never lose to Ari in a million years.
Mm,
On a good deck, maybe some decks could lose, but I think Ari exploits bad player. She exploits people who forget to
yeah,
counter power when they do the
this
math.
I agree
They
with.
forget to play against. They forget to actually take into account the Watcher. All the buffs. When you play against Ari, there is a lot of stuff you need to play around. You need to play around
Yep.
Stupefy, Defy, Anger, Discipline, Charm, Run Prison potentially, Singularity could be there, Watcher, Windwall exists, they have Time Warp as well. All this stuff you need to play around, but in the end, Ari has 10 fucking units, just kill them. And you win.
That's true.
If you keep your eyes on the ball and focus the units, you're gonna win.
That's true. That being said, I think that you have so many interactions, like potential things that you could play. And I think with the correct list and meta call, you could probably like we've seen in other TCGs, like quote unquote lower tier decks win because they had the right meta call, and I think Ari could exactly be one of these. But that would require both a top tier player and a good meta call, and that's probably not happening in China because like top tier players are not interested in taking such risks. But I think that's something that we could see in the West. That's what I'm
I
saying
think a
about
lot of
Ari.
players in the West have been thinking about Ari. I've had at least 4 or 5 people that I've coached or who wanted coaching from me who were playing Ari or
Mm-hmm.
wanted to play Ari. All of them, I told them the same. If your goal is to perform at the local level, Ari is perfectly fine. If you are actually trying to win or get consistent results, I would also stay away from Ari. But if you love the deck, you can make it work. It's a trade-off of efficiency versus like playing what you like. I think Ari is fine to play. I just don't think it's. I think it's borderline the fifth best deck.
Yeah, it was better
I put
before.
it. I think I put Ari as a sixth place or seventh place in my list. I would say Darius is better than Ari if you're good at Darius. I think Annie and Timo are also better, but then Ari is here.
Um, I
Set Ari and Set are in the same spot, kind of for
yeah,
me.
kind. I think as Ari is a bit better, but like, it's in my opinion, it's like Annie is the better aggro deck, then Kaisa is the better control deck, then Yi is the better ramp deck, and then Ari and Set are fighting for the best tempo deck. So like, depending on
But
format and thing,
Timo
like
and Darius have so much more tools in my opinion. Like Timo cheating out might is so strong, and Darius having the hook value. I
yeah.
think these two decks just outclass Ari by a slight margin, and Ari and Set are on the same level. But they are still above like all the other like
But
bad
I
decks. I
think
think
Ari
Ari is
is
better
the
than
one with the
Victor.
better consistency out of all of them, which is also a
Yeah,
point that you should not overlook him.
yeah. I just think Ari can't. I think I really don't know what to expect from the players in Houston. To be fair, I really wish I could go to Shanghai. I got picked for the raffle in Shanghai.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't because I'm unsure about how good the players are gonna be in Houston. Because I picked up One Piece when the game was already played a lot, so people were fairly good at the game.
Mm-hmm.
I still did pretty decent. I picked up Lorcana when people already played a few majors. I didn't go to Lille, which was the first one. I went to the last majors in Lorcana. So people were decent, but still not great. And I think this one is going to be the first time ever I go to the first major of a card game. So I'm really maybe overestimating the skill of the average player at the event. So maybe Ari is going to do good in that regard. I think it is very difficult to play against Ari correctly.
Yeah, yeah, it's very difficult. I agree with that. If you don't have experience, even as a good player, you could be off cards because you need to play around
She,
like 10, 12 cards at the same time.
yeah, she has a lot of small interactions that you need
Mm-hmm.
to think about. The
Yep.
problem is, I think if you do think about this interaction, she actually can't do much to you because she's very reliant on keeping mana up. So if you consistently get in good spots against Ari, she's gonna lose so much value because of all the mana she's forced to live up to use all her spells. Because
Yeah.
all the spells you wanna play in Ari, like literally in Ari, if you tap out, you're gonna lose your
Yeah, you lose
whole
the
board
game.
and you can't.
You lose the
So
game.
you can't tap out, and because you can't tap out, well then you can't be full value every turn. If the opponent just develops in the back for one full turn, you only have charm to get rid
But
of it.
then I think that's also something that's underexplored in Ari right now, is that you have a super strong Eden package available that helps you be better when you are almost tapped out. Like you are on like being on 4 tapped runes and 2 open ones is way less threatening than being on like 3 tapped runes and 2 open ones, but also an hidden chords, because you have access to Blast Cone and Konsu the Past, and like these chords are exactly what you need
Yeah,
to apply
but
pressure when you
Blastcone,
don't
oh
have
my god,
runes.
but Blastcone when you get, my problem is I think Ari's she's up there, she's close enough.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
She's just a, I think okay, let's put it this way. We see Victor and Timo are the third and fourth best deck in this event.
No,
I
I
think
mean,
Ari,
conversion wise, because I don't think they are the best ones,
yes,
but like, yeah.
no, in this event specifically, I think that Victor because more player brought it.
Mm-hmm.
Timo probably kind of the same. Ari underperformed slightly, like a lot actually, not even slightly.
Yeah,
But
yeah, lot. But
I
there
think
are
that's
logical
also.
reasons behind it, so I would not be too afraid of it being like a definitive standpoint on her actual power.
I'm not a Ari Cooper. I think I figured
Bro,
out the
it's A
matchup pretty
tier.
early.
It's A tier.
Yeah, but I'm not a Ari Cooper like in terms of. Am I think? Do I think if I okay? Let's put it this way: if I go into Houston and I sit down and my opponent flips Ari Legend, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, you're feeling comfortable as a Kaisa player for sure.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that.
I do think
Well, if
I do
my
think that being said, that as a Yi player, you should be scared.
I don't know. I haven't played Ari against T that much. I
I
played it a
did,
bit.
and it's very free. At least
Okay.
with like my builds, right? Which is
Mm.
used to be not conventional, but like people are converging to it like slowly. So I think at some point it will become a kind of a standard. But like yeah,
But blue
he
is
has so
so
much
strong.
trouble going into like these
Blue,
blast cones and then smoke screens and then disciplines, and then whenever he goes dead bloom you just go retreat, and then you drop a free accelerate because like you have mother sprites, and like they can't match this. It's too fast.
my main issue with Ari is the mid game. The mid game is very, very weak. You have a huge drop in power on turn 2, 3, and 4. Green and blue are extremely strong deck colors. You
Yeah.
have
That
Watcher,
being
you have
said, Blue Airy
Faithful.
is an extremely strong mid game card.
Yeah, but it's still extremely slow and it gets killed by absolutely everything that exists in the format.
Well, we're talking Falling
That's
Star because aside from that, you can play around.
I mean Ray, Falling Star, Void Seeker, all the red decks are gonna be playing
Yeah, but
those.
like
He dies
if
to
you're into
Darius.
Kaisa maybe, but then you have 3 retreats and 3 defies,
But
and you have them buffs to play around like Ray.
but then it also dies to Ari, to Charm when it gets charmed to other battlefield. It dies to Dead Bloom, it dies to Darius, it dies to a
Well, it
lot
dies to Dead
of
Bloom if
stuff.
it's like Nakey. Because like if they go Dead Bloom onto Blue Ari, like Legend is -1 and then Blue Ari is -2, so that Dead Bloom is already 5. So like
I know,
whatever
man.
you're
I mean,
going to use, Dead Bloom is dead.
yeah, it could be, but also that they're not saying it's true, right? I just think Ari misses a turn. Like if she had her own, the mushroom guy I called, like her own good 4/4, like a 4 might unit that does one small thing for 4, or
Yeah.
like maybe a 3 might for 4 that does something good. Like if she had a blue Poro and she could play the Poro guy, the guy who draws 1 card and buffs himself, she would probably play
Yeah,
this
you could
guy.
consider it. The power is a
Like
problem, but you could consider it, yeah. For
this,
sure.
you need this kind of, you need a second turn that costs 3, which is not blue Ari. I don't know what it could be, but you would need something that gives you value when it dies. I think Yordle is pretty good in that spot, but it lacks a bit of power. Like you lack the offensive power in Ari. You don't have cleave, which makes
Yeah.
Yordle so much worse.
Yeah.
I think Ari really struggles in to push a battlefield. Pushing battlefields is tough. If you don't have Watcher, and you don't want to spend all your turn buffing your units, you're never entering a battlefield.
If you are playing from behind, I do agree. That being said, the deck, in my opinion, is meant to be played from, like, in the lead. So
But it's so difficult because all your units are so small in the early game. It's very
yeah,
tough.
but like it's kind of the deck that also has access to the cheapest accelerates, and also it's not so hard to take the lead. It's harder to keep it in 2K than it is to take it emo.
I mean, Ari once like Ari that wins a dice roll can be scary in a lot of spots.
Yeah, for sure.
But she's almost good enough. Like
Yeah,
she's
like
very
close to
close
it.
to being good enough.
Yep.
She needs
Agreed.
that. It's kind of like, I think, like Timo, Victor, and Annie are better decks. No, Timo, Ari, Annie, and Darius are better deck, in my opinion. I think they need a lot of cards to actually push to the next level, while Ari just need one good
Yeah,
card
one or two good
to play in
cards.
the
Yeah,
mid game
exactly.
to be very good. Like I think all the Lee Sin, the Ari, and the Yasuo deck, all 3 of them could
Yep.
get one very good card right now
And then they're
that
strong.
fixes their issue and they're very strong.
Yeah,
And they're
this I
actually
agree with.
tier 1, borderline tier 1.
This I agree with.
They don't need much. They need
Like,
one more
basically-
good card. They have everything except this one turn 2 play that's strong.
What I'm going to like say regarding, like, in my opinion, green is already one of the better colors in the game. Whatever green deck you are playing, you already have one of the better colors. DeFi being such an awesome tool, and you are a few like mid-game cards away from having an absolute tier 0 color that either you are playing it or you are losing to it, in my opinion. So they need to
My
be very
issue is
careful about
this.
how they balance green, but it's actually really, really scary.
My issue is everything costs power in green, and that's the tough. Blue and green both are very power angry colors. Like
Yep.
both green and blue want to pay power cost in the mid to late game, and that's an issue. None of the 2 colors can actually have like good cards that don't cost power.
But like you were
And that's a
talking
very big
yesterday,
struggle.
Chaos is pretty good at not using runes in the mid game. And like Yasuo
But Yasuo has the
could do
problem is
something.
Chaos and Green are both like complement, like both support colors.
Yes, support colors. They need a stronger identity to
So
work.
they don't do anything strong. If Yasuo had Mundo, for example, he would be extremely good. I think
Yep.
it would be pretty good.
Exactly. So, just to close this up on Eri, I think it's a strong deck. Probably one of the top 5-6 decks. In my opinion, should be in the discussion for top 3-4 deck, or should have been before. If we see less Ys and more cases with Rain in the deck, it's not a good it's not good news for Eri. You could still adapt your build to it, though that's a deck that's very flexible. I would not be surprised to see one Ari player making it into like top 32 or even 16 in Houston, but I would be very surprised to see a Harry deck winning the whole event, especially thinking that I think top 8 will be like 7 cases or like 6. So if that's the case, Ari does not have a shot into like these top tier Kaisa players. It's very tough to win that matchup. Anything to add, or are we jumping onto like we don't want to talk about these decks? I think. Do you want to?
No, I think no, I don't have any much to say. I will say it very quick. Garen played Aura and it worked somewhat okay.
Bro, that's something that we actually have to talk about. The best Garen in the event got 500th place.
That's 5 and 3. That's you know what? That's 5 and 3. It's not that bad compared to. Okay, let's put it this way: 5 and 3. When the guy who won the event went 6 and 2 in round. Everyone in this event was between 6 and 2 and 5 and 3.
Yeah, but like
Leona, Garen, and Garen both went 5 and 3.
Like
Maybe
these
Lux as
are
well.
the expected worst performing decks that still have some chances at eye rolling.
Oh, but it's a terrible
that's what
deck.
happens.
It's terrible. Like you have no legend ability. You have a terrible card pool. You're playing set colors without set ability and set legend. Yeah, it's terrible. Don't look at this deck. Don't play it.
Yeah,
Especially it's so expensive as well. Like
because you have
oh
to
my
have these
God.
auroras and then
20 people entered with Garen trying to win the legend card, like the metal card, and only one guy got it. Oh my God, that's
probably the
terrible.
one that got it was the one that drew aura on curve the most.
Yeah,
so like,
because you have literally zero consistency. It's awful.
Yeah,
Leona is probably is a very playable deck, but it's 100% losing in Kaisa. You're never winning into Kaisa. Literally,
yeah, that's my problem because
impossible.
I think Leona is extremely strong aside from Kaisa.
I mean, it's really slow. I don't know how it's good into Yi, that's for sure, but it's not that great into a lot of other decks.
It's extremely strong into most decks that are relying on bodies, and that's a trend that we saw before with like the cases, including mechs, and then like sets popping off because Yi was strong. Then like decks like Ari and Leona in this big bodies meta were stronger than they are right now. If we are talking reigns in the main deck and stuff,
I guess we could say that. Yeah, I guess so. I think Leona does a lot of powerful things, but the stun cards are very expensive in power, and she also needs to ramp, and she loses the late game to most of the late game decks. She's slow, but she still loses late game, which is my issue.
I don't think that's the case if you are on a great list, but like I don't like this
one.
I
mean, it depends on what, right? I think Set developing bodies in the back is gonna end up probably not being able to push, but Yi is gonna push into you eventually. Like it.
Stun is so strong into Yi though. Like they can't really play around it.
Stun is very strong. I think Leona is good into Yi.
Yeah, like
but
there's something I want to say there is like if you are intending on playing Leona, please do me a favor. Stop everything you're doing right now. Stop watching the stream, whatever. Then go read a fucking rulebook for 2 hours to understand every proper way of resolving a showdown. And then tell me in what constellation in the world you are not playing 3 Zenith Blade, because this card is crack broken. And like every list I see is like 1 or 2 of this. Like, dude, you have green Leona on board, right? Your opponent attacks you. You can just Zenith Blade. They can't defy because it's 2 power. Then they are the attacker, so they don't proc like Master Yi or whatever effect you want. You stun them, they lose 8 might, they die, you conquer, you score, you start your turn, you hold, you score. Like, why the fuck would you not play 3 of these cards? I'm getting crazy over this, bro. Like, I can't get that. I think people are just not understanding how to properly resolve that card. I think that's the only way they are not on 3 of these. Like Zenith's Blade is
Yes.
so broken. I think it's actually one of the better cards in the game. Like
It's too
probably one of the
expensive. It's
maybe
good. It's
maybe the
very
best
powerful, but
signature
it's
spell
very
in the game.
expensive. So I don't know. I don't. I think it's interesting.
Like being
I
expensive
mean,
is a
I know.
problem, but that also means that you can't get defied, right?
Yeah, but it's powerful but expensive. I don't know how that will shape up in set two because Leona for set one just forgot about it. So let's see.
I think also one of the biggest takeaways that we can have from set one is that seals are not good. I
They're
think they
good
expect
if you could draw them consistently, like Hearthstone Quest
yeah,
or
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Champion Ball.
I think they expected them to be good, and so some cards are balanced around the fact that you will be playing seals, but most decks are not. So probably Zenith Blade was a card that was expected to be played with a
I think
seal.
the people who tested this game in before the release were cooked at card games. I won't lie, because not knowing that Mastery was going to be strong and thinking Leona was going to be strong is actually cool. Because
So
every,
I'm not going to be like flaming full on flame because like they most likely tested with like 2-3 sets of data and not only one. Cause I'm like 100% certain they already have all the cards built for like set 5 probably already.
no, there's no way. Actually, I think set
I
three might
I
set
think
three
three
is probably
four are for sure done, maybe 5. But
I
like
don't know
they
how early,
tested
but
with way more cards than we know right now, and also they were testing in an environment in which like rules changed. Like they had FAQs that actually changed the way cards work. So I'm not so sure we could like full on blame them.
I
But
think they missed some things that they shouldn't have missed, is
yeah,
what I
yeah,
say.
that's true.
I think there are some things that passed through the balance team that shouldn't have passed.
Talking about Falling
And
Star, huh?
like Falling Star should be 2 damage and maybe only 1 power. I don't know how to balance it. Maybe 1 cost 2 power, 2 damage. I don't know,
Like
but
bro,
it shouldn't be 3 damage.
to be
Falling Star
fair,
3 damage is so ridiculous.
if Falling Star was the exact same card, but burning only 1 power, it would be fairer because you could defy it. Because like right
That's
now, there's nothing you can
crazy.
do.
That's actually crazy, but it's kind of true in a way.
Like right now,
If you
there's nothing
couldn't,
you can do.
okay,
You just get
let's put it
abused by
this way.
Falling Star.
If Falling Star was 1 power, but you couldn't pay for it with Kaisa's ability for X or Y reason, it would be worse. True, because
Yeah, yeah.
you could get if Falling Star could get but the problem is then the Mastery is just tier 0, right? It's like okay.
Yeah,
Whatever.
but like, yeah, probably. But like, yeah, for
Yes.
sure, Falling Star would be fairer paying only 1 power.
Yeah, there's a guy in the chat asking, yes, if you create a showdown in the opponent turn, so
Yeah.
either they charm you into their battlefield, or you Zenith Blade and move into there, you are the attacker, and if you win the result of the combat,
You are nuts.
then you end up
actually.
scoring.
You are nuts. That's something that you. So, okay, let's just make it simpler. If you guys want to try and play Leone, whoever attacks first, like empty battlefield, I'm talking, is the attacker. Okay? So, whatever happens starting from that point, the first player to apply the contested status to the battlefield, so the attacker, remains the attacker. And so, what happens is that when you're on Leone, they attack an empty battlefield that triggers a showdown. You can play an action.
No, okay. I meant for like if you charm or Zenith Blade and
Yeah, okay.
like the control of the battlefield
Yeah, sure.
already is the opponent's, right?
But-
That's what I meant.
But then, like, they are getting in there. You are using Zenith Blade as an action, and then you are considered the defender because, like, there can't be 2 attackers in the same showdown, and your opponent is already the attacker, right? So, like, if you're into Mastery, they don't have that when your units defend alone ability because they are attacking, not defending. And so, like, Zenith Blade is completely cracked at dealing with basically anything mid-game wise and later on.
Yeah, but the problem is if the opponent doesn't play into Zenith Blades, you lost 3 runes of tempo, and Leona doesn't have tempo. It's a big thing.
Yeah, kind
But
of. But like,
it's
let's say
very
in the
relevant.
later game, they are going for whatever big body into a battlefield, and you have Green Leona on board, like whatever, battlefield, base, wherever. You can just go like Venus Blade, stun their units, they can't defy it because it's 2 power. Then bring Green Leona, which says whoever is stunned is -8 might. And then their Dead Bloom is like 1 might. You are killing it. They did not conquer, but you did conquer a battlefield because you entered a battlefield that was empty and won a combat there. So you score from conquering. And then you start your turn. And since you have control of a battlefield at the beginning of your turn, you ult, and so you score 2 points off of it. So like this card is completely cracked. You just have to like dive into the proper way to conduct a showdown and understand every sequence possible, and then this card is correct. And I think that's why people are just playing one because they don't know it.
No, I mean it's. I still see it as a good card. I just think it's. Oh my god! If you're getting like, it's good when it resolves, but if the opponent is not completely cooked at the game, they're not gonna give you amazing Zenith Velate value.
Yeah, but then you can still use it during your own turn. So like.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a good card. I'm not sure why it's so expensive though. I think it could have been a bit cheaper.
Yeah. This I agree with.
Yeah.
No, my LGS is not around Paris. I live in Angers actually. For those who know the French map. I do go to Paris from time to time there to see fellow streamers. But
what about
what?
Good. No. Go ahead. Finish your point. Sorry.
No worries. Tell me.
I was gonna say, what about we close the giveaway? People wanna enter for the Kaisa guide. Type plus explanation enter. It's in 2 minutes. We'll close it.
Yeah, we'll close it. So you guys can get a free $30 guide from Randy, which is yapping with me right now, and is one of the best Kaisa guides. No, sorry, it's the best Kaisa guide out there, and it's one of the best guides I've ever read. So like, yeah, feel free to type !enter in the chat to enter the giveaway, and we are going to close it in a few minutes.
And I count on all the people who lost and don't get the guide to just buy it straight up. Okay, guys.
Yeah,
so I can actually buy my signature.
And you can actually guide for 20% off with the code Kachus20. So strong way to make things work and make business, right? And so thank you, by the way, for like giving away one of these on this stream. You guys are starting to get. We are almost 50. That's pretty cool. Thank you guys for being here, and thank you for the photos and the support and everything.
Oh my god, the best set guide. I mean, I'm gonna be real. The problem with set is I don't think we can fix the issue from set yet.
I can already give you the best set list though. Give me a second. Let me just access my Pilt archive.
There's one guy who is pretty good at games, at card games, who made a set guide, I think. I don't know how good the guide is. I haven't read it, so I can't pronounce myself on like how good the guide is. But there is one out there that exists.
This is probably close to what could be the best set list in the current formats. I'll just show it to you as an image.
Oh my.
Like I did try unresolved sets.
Okay.
I think it's just like consistency, but this is probably one of the best lists.
How good is sets is Stokes guide to like? I haven't bought it. Maybe I'll buy it just to
bar
see
is bait.
How it is.
So we disagree then.
I think bar is fine in some lists. It's not good in all the lists.
So my list is literally bar's boss, and then the guy in chat is bar is bait. So I think we are destined rivals or enemies or whatever. I think bar is extremely needed in like you have to be as consistent as you can because you like draw power. So. But if we get better draw power cards in set 2, then yeah, you don't need bar anymore. But right now you don't have any of this. So.
I don't think the list you showed is the way to play sets right now. I think we need to go for bigger creature and bar to buff them, or to be no bar, full aggro.
Like so, this list is basically big bodies because like this guy, once you're on bar, like this guy is insane strong. This guy is insane strong, and all of your little shits are getting strong through Lee. So like this is actually like big bodies. You can often reach like 40 plus might on a single battlefield with this list. And this is also like this buffed is extremely needed to play into Kaisa because like it's 7 might and we know how Kaisa hates 7 might.
Yeah, I agree with what the guy in chat is saying, Papu Wano. I think the set list from the top cuts, when we talked about it, it's pretty good. I think the set guy had made a pretty good deck, to be fair. I think it's very close to. There are a few things that are wrong in my opinion, but it's very close to being good.
You could probably cut two of these to play Fiora though. I think Fiora is a really strong card that I missed on.
But like, no, whatever. I think Fiora is cooked as fuck. Fiora does nothing if she's not buffed.
Yeah, but like if you're on board, then you can like kind of say she's going to be buffed, right?
Okay, Ari Battlefields.
Ari Battlefields.
Go ahead, that's your thing. I think Grove for going first.
Yeah,
and then
I can talk about that.
3 for like game 1 blind because it's always good, and
So
you have zone for going second, I guess.
so actually I have zone for game 1 because
Mm.
like basically I'm running some cards that I don't want to
Oh,
see
you
in
have
some.
Mundo. Okay, you have
Yeah, yeah.
Mundo. That makes sense then.
Like Mundo, some cards I don't want to see in some matchups, like
Okay, yeah,
Blasto.
then that makes sense.
So I'm on zone game 1, and then I think like it's kind of neutral, right? If I don't make full use of it, I don't lose advantage. And then this is just like going first, going second, because like basically going first you are extremely good at holding, so like Grove is a must. And then going second, what you were talking about is rather true, is that sometimes you need to spend a lot of buffs to like fight back into boards going second. And Dreaming Tree allows you to make value out of these buffs while you are pushing and not holding. So this is just like go game 1, and then whatever you are going first, this, going second, this.
Yep.
And it's proven to be effective so far. Toughest game though is game 1, because like you don't have actual draw power from the battlefield, and battlefields are such a key part of Ari's game plan. So like sometimes you tend to run out of cards in game 1 because you don't make value off zone. You just like pitch 1, draw 1, but you don't make card advantage, right?
Okay.
That's basically it.
So, what about we do the giveaway
Yeah,
raffle?
yeah, yeah. Let's go for the giveaway. So I just need to go for this, I think. Pick the winner. And we do have a winner. Can you guys see it? You guys can. So the winner is Dark Sponge 666.
Oh,
Congratulations.
the Leona guy. The Leona guy.
Was he?
Earlier, I think.
So the Leona guy maybe, yeah. Wins a free guide from Randy, a free case guide. So congrats, Dark
Okay,
Sponge. Reach
can
out to me in DMs, or to like actually reach out to me on like Twitch DMs, and I'll like PM you the way to claim the guide after the stream. It's easier that way. My DMs are open, don't worry. And for all of the other ones, don't worry, you can still get it for 20% off with the Catchoose20 codes. And
And
it's
also,
once again extremely good.
and if you just want to get started, you don't want to spend money, there's free stuff, and it's good enough to get you started for sure.
Yeah.
But you wanna it's basically, you wanna play Kai'Sa or Yi, just get the free stuff, learn a bit, and if you are like, okay, that's my deck for skirmish and regionals, I
Yeah.
think buying the paid ones is gonna push to the next level and actually save like save you sometimes. Like basically you're gonna get better for sure in a lot of matchups and have the answers to your questions, is what I think.
Thanks
But
for
if you
the
just wanna get
support.
started, get it immediately.
Yeah, I agree. This guide is extremely good. I think we're done with like going over all that happened at Riftbound, like Shanghai National, and talking like meta trends and what's happening in the format, what we expected or not. Is there anything you want to add regarding Shanghai, or should we jump into the finishing part, which is like reorganizing this mess?
Oh my god, let's do that quick. I have something in like, I literally have coaching in 20 minutes, so
Perfect.
we need to speed run this.
Perfect. So
Let me
Shanghai is done. We already talked our minds through most of these legends. So let's just like, I'll go with them one by one, starting from the bottom. And then we're just like going to like say they're fine, or we need to rank them elsewhere, following Shanghai and our talk right now. So Garen is trash tier. By the way, these tiers are absolute bests. So like pick this if you want to win. Don't know why the tiers reset it, but like absolute best. This is you could call them underdogs. Then this.
Or you can call it Cope, Ari, and Annie Coppers, basically.
This is decent. This is not good, and this is dementia. D for dementia. So Garen
D for
is
dementia. Dementia. You forgot to test, and you forgot what deck were good, so you brought Garen.
yeah. So you are D for
Actual.
dementia. So actually, Garen stays here. Volley 2. Is there anyone that we would want to derank to D for dementia though? Lux maybe?
Lux is going to Demacia, I
I
think.
think Lux is dementia.
Lux is going to Demacia, and Leona as well. I mean, my
Nah.
girl Leona, I love her, but she's
Nah,
in Demacia
bro.
as well.
Nah. Leona is just not good into Kai'Sa. It's a good
No,
deck.
she's just not winning. I can tell you for sure. Just put
It's a
her there.
functional deck aside from the Kai'Sa matchup though.
I let you put her at the very top of Demacia with Volibear, but no, not
I can
higher.
go for not good. I can't put her into like. You want to tell me Leona is as bad as Volley, Lux, and Garen? Come on.
I think Voli is better than Leona.
Nah. It's just better because Aurora into Kaisa, right? Nah, I can't. No. I agree to demote her to not good though. I do agree.
Yeah, put her at the end of not good then.
I think we are seeing a lot more Kaisa,
Again,
and since it's unwinnable into Kaisa, then she's probably not good, right?
Yeah, okay.
So this I agree.
Now
with.
let's put it this way. Remove that primal strength. What is that deck? Oh my god, it's going out of this tier list.
It's like tempo
Early game
Yi? Like you
Yeah.
are what do you call a deck that is not on Catalyst, but that is still running like buffs
Buddy.
and then
I
like
call it Buddy.
yeah, body if you will.
Buddy. It
Body,
goes
tempo,
into
whatever.
Okay,
I think that's
okay.
like the top 4 list that was not on Catalyst, I think is like kind of this list.
No, because they play the. Oh, you mean no catalyst? Okay.
Yeah, I mean no
thought you
ramp.
meant,
Like you can't call
no,
ramp here a deck that does
no
not play
Fey
Catalyst.
Folk, no Fey Folk and stuff.
Yeah, I would say like top 4 list is sample for this one. So,
Okay, then it's pretty much the same as a catalyst list.
but you
One
don't have
card.
Catalyst, so you can't call it rampy, right?
I mean, you have Fey Folk and you have Find Your Center.
Like this, no, not this one, the other one actually.
Yeah, but you have Fey Folk and Find Your Center, right?
Not
So
this one either. Which one? Oh yeah,
It's up there. Yeah, but
this one.
I mean but there is Fey Folk and Find Your Center, so I think that's rampy. That's why it's like Big E basically, not really rampy.
Yeah. Like Big E is fine. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just put it with E. It's fine.
Yeah, like whatever. You could take this one out, like whatever, and then it's still like.
For the guy in chat, I think Set is just a monster deck, but it's so inconsistent.
You need draw
It's like
power
you-
choose. If you get them,
you
it's really
need-
strong.
You need early units, you need mid-game units, you need cards to buff your stuff, and you need cards that uses the buff, like Call to Glory and such.
Yep.
And on top of that, you have utility cards in your deck. And you need all 5 of those cards to work together and be a good mix of them in your hand to actually win games. The problem is you have 0 consistency tools in the deck. You have no stack deck. You have no draw power, no cantrips. The best consistency in your deck is basically pushing onto the monastery battlefield, and that's it. And
Yep.
for this, and also for this reason, Set is just not playable to the highest level. It's so inconsistent. It's good, but it's. I played Set at a recent tournament. I lost in round 1. I literally drew my hand, and I lost in 5 minutes because I went turn 1, turn 2, and then my hand was like full Kiana, Fiora, one of the games, like all units, and I had no cards to buff my guys. And the other game, I had all buff card and all Call to Glories, but no good units to put them on, and I just got cooked.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's
very.
not-
You need to
and I-
find all the pieces.
It's you need a mix of cards but you can't actually filter.
But
You
you
just
have
rely
you
on
have
your
a
draw.
bigger count of like bigger baddies. In my opinion, what really makes the difference is how many spells are you going to draw throughout the game, and like when I'm talking spells, I'm talking like Showstopper, potentially Confront, Hidden Blade, Challenge. These like things that allow you to cheat at being a slower deck, and I think like this is the big thing that if we are able to either get more of these or get draw power to stabilize your access to it, then Set is going to be a good deck someday, yeah, for sure.
I think Set has potential, yeah.
Yeah, and Showstopper is such a strong siege
But
spell.
okay, let's put it this way. I think from your tier list, what shocks me is I think Kaisa Mekamek is not played. It doesn't exist. You can remove it, but whatever.
Yeah, at the time I did it, it was a deck though, but I kinda agree.
Just put it down. I think
Yeah,
it's
whatever.
gonna confuse people for no reason.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't you remove it from the tier list entirely? Like drop it below?
I can't because I don't have any extras.
Oh, okay. Anyway, okay, let's put this. I think MF should be a bit higher. That's fine.
So Darius, you think he's strong? So
Oh yeah, Darius is underdog. 100%. Hook Darius, not shit Darius.
Here, no?
No, this was this
Oh, no,
one
my
is
bad,
not
my bad, my
good,
bad.
and
This
the
is wrong
Hook
Darius.
Darius
Yeah,
is
this is wrong Darius.
underdogs. Is with Annie and Set.
Here? Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
This one
Timo
is
as well.
shit tier, probably like here, maybe.
No,
like, whatever.
it's not good, but it's better than Foley and
Yeah,
Garen
yeah,
and
yeah,
all this
probably.
bullshit.
Timo is probably like decent, but not an underdog in my opinion.
Oh, I would say Timo is underdog for sure.
I mean, Timo is probably
than-
better than Set though. So if we put Set in, but Set could
It's-
be here.
to me, Ari is same as Seth and Timo is same as Annie and Darius. But
I would
you,
agree with something along those lines. I would not put Harry
yeah.
below though, but like yeah, I could see that. Then Yasuo
I
is
mean, everything else, I think you
not
just push MF to decent and we're good. I agree with most of it.
bottom decent, and yeah, Aurora is decent too. Like too bad at being consistent. Any one of the biggest contenders. Yeah, I agree with the rest. By the way, this was a prediction, guys. To all those that are on Twitter saying I'm a fraud, this rain was in like nobody's list before the event. I said that winning Kaisa would have Reigns in the main deck. They do
The
have Reigns in the
problem
main deck.
Karnax was like reducing the number of good cards and adding draw power. Is set needs it is very slow naturally because of how it works. You need to play unit and then buff them, and you get value in 2 turns. And if you add a cycle of drawing cards to the deck, like a turn of setup, then it's not just 1 turn of setup because you're not playing like every 2 turn. You're playing like 3 turns later. When decks like Yi or Kaisa can do things in 1 or 2 turns.
But it's even
And if
simpler than that. You don't have like draw cards
and you
in these
also
two
don't
colors
have
don't
those tools.
exist. Like
mean,
these
you
cards,
have a
the cards
few.
you are mentioning, Carnats don't exist. There is not a good draw card in orange aside from Eden Blade, orange yellow, sorry, aside from Eden Blade. That's it.
Or confront. I mean, confront could be played, but it's not.
Yeah, I'm on 3 confronts, but like it's not a draw power card. It's just like it cycles itself, right? But you don't make advantage out of it. It's just a good card.
I mean, the only cards with the only colors with consistency are blue, green, and purple. All the other ones don't have any.
Yeah, kind of Kiana. Yeah, but like let's not talk about Kiana, right? I'm going to get mad again. Anything. So just to close things up, because like you are going to coach as you were talking about.
Yeah,
Timo better than Ari. I'm kinda conflicted on that. I would say Ari is better, but like Randy thinks Timo is better, so you could put them like either way. That would be fine. Just to close this, so we have a clear expected winner for Houston in Kaisa. What do you think is going to be the biggest surprise? What do you think is going to be the deck that everyone expects but is going to be down? And then I'll let you go and I'll thank you so much for the stream.
I think we're gonna see.
Like risky bet of like overperforming and underperforming.
I think Timo is overperforming. I think Timo is gonna be higher than Annie, Darius, and Ari in terms of placement. I think Timo is a bigger seed beside Kais and E.
Alrighty.
I think one Timo guy is gonna push it. I think Annie is gonna be in top 16.
Okay, this I
And
agree
lose
with.
there.
That was going to be my pick. Exactly my
Ari-
pick. I was going to say
Ari-
Annie is going to be in top 16.
Ari doesn't make it out of top 64, maybe 32 at most. Darius, if some good Darius player with a decent list and also just playing good and a high roll, maybe the top cut, he could get to top 16, 32. I don't see Darius making it all the way to top 8 or top 4.
I mean, that's
I
performing
don't-
as
I just
expected,
don't see
right?
it.
That's an underdog that you're describing right now.
Yeah, I don't see Darius winning it all. I don't see Annie winning it all. You just can't win consistently against
No,
Kaisa,
no.
I think. Annie could surprise people, but I don't think it's winning either. Timo, on a good day, winning a lot of dices, could do good. And I wouldn't be surprised if he underperformed, but that's gonna be because not that many people might be on E. I don't know how accessible Proving Ground is in the US.
Yeah, interesting
I don't
question
know.
here.
I think card accessibility is going to be a huge thing as well. Like Aura is very expensive. So and the players who would want to be on Aura are the players who are less invested into the game, I believe.
But I don't think Aurora is the best version of Yi, so that should not be a problem, right?
No, but I think MF, for example, is going to be less played than it should be.
Gotcha.
Same for Yi, or Yi, just because I think most people would bring MF or ER casuals, and they might not want to spend like $800 on the deck.
Yeah, gotcha. So you actually brought up both my picks, so I'm not going to be like so original of a person, but like I was going to say, in my opinion, Annie is going to get to top 16, so that's my overperforming pick. And also, I think we are way like top players in the West are way less inclined to play like very linear decks. So I think we are going to see way less top players on Yi. And so like overall way worth results for Yi as a deck. So my underperforming pick would be Yi, whatever variant of it you want to call it. And then regarding Ari, sadly I must agree. I think Reigns or the nail on the coffin, and it will be hard for Ari to get
Oh
better
yeah,
than
that's
like
true.
top
Oh my
32.
god, Kai'Sas are gonna be net decking this winning list and putting 2 Reigns in the main deck, 2 time warps. What is Ari doing?
I think that's what
Okay.
they're going to do. Like
Yeah,
most
I think
cases
Victor is gonna be
are
better.
going to
I
be
think
on
Victor is
Reigns.
gonna be he is gonna be higher than in terms of representation. Victor is gonna be played a lot. It's very
Yeah, but
cheap.
that does not mean he's a good deck, right?
No, yeah, but I think in terms of power, I think we put Victor very low, but he's gonna be played a lot. I think MF could be MF beats. I think MF has a very strong matchup into the other Aura decks.
So you would put it above Yi, but like that's
Yeah, but
micromanaging, right?
there are not gonna be that many auras, I think, in Houston compared to. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know because
I would
the
tend to. I
boxes.
think Western people are like way less inclined to play linear decks. Is
I
it a
think a
matter
lot
of
of there
pride
is a
or
lot
like
of there's a big
overall
player
level of
base from
decks?
Yu-Gi-Oh, for example, who was playing stun decks and
Yeah,
people who
true,
play like this kind of decks.
true,
Like in Lorcana, it was the same. So I think there is a huge player base for those. So I might be understanding. I think
true.
I might be wrong on the aura. Just because I wouldn't bring it doesn't mean like people wouldn't bring it. Also, Riot hasn't shipped all the boxes, so
Yet,
there is more
yeah,
supply coming
sure,
before the event. So maybe.
sure. Yup. Well,
Anyways, that's gonna be it for me.
yeah, I don't want to take up much more of your time. Thank you so much for being here. Did you guys in the chat appreciate this stream? I had a really good time. Thank you, Randy. Remember that Randy is up on socials, on Metafy, on YouTube also. If like not many videos, but like you are
No,
still
maybe.
there. Randy with 3 Ys, and then TCG. Feel free to drop him a follow, and maybe we can catch up on some like format talks and stuff from time to time because I think it was a really cool talk. I had a great time.
Me too. Me too.
Thank you,
Hopefully,
brother.
yeah. Hopefully after Houston, if I win, perfect.
Yeah, you'll be there and share the list,
If
right?
I scrub out, maybe I'll hide under a rock and never come back. I don't know. We'll see.
If you fail at topping, we will make a out by day one deck profile video.
Oh my god, out by day one. That's good.
Do you guys? Well, actually, I will start a channel points challenge, and if they fulfill it, we will make a out by day one video. If you flop, that would be so funny.
I mean, I'm not flopping, so that's okay.
Yeah, I think you're doing great. I do sincerely believe you're doing great, and I hope so. And I will be cheering for you, of course. And you better get your ass on that streaming table so I can
Oh
cheer.
my god, fuck no. I'm playing in my sweatshirt on the tables, chilling. No streams for me.
You better
Thank
get your
you.
ass there so we can cheer from here. Thank you,
Okay,
brother.
anyway,
Was
see
pretty
you.
cool.
Have a nice day. Have a good evening.
Yeah,
And,
thank you for
have
the
a good
guide
stream.
and see you soon. Here we are, chat. Did you like it? That was actually the first time that we have a guest over on a Riftbound stream, and I had a dang good time. That was pretty cool. Pretty interesting in my opinion. You guys are a lot, so I must guess that you guys liked it. If that's the case, feel free to let me know, because then I can try and bring in more guests to do different things. So that was very interesting in my opinion. We did take a lot of time going over Shangai, but I also think that's going to be something that's very important preparing for Houston. So I'm hoping this could help some of you guys prepare in a better fashion. Oh, do you guys have any questions? Anything you would want answered, answered, whatever you want to phrase it? Or do we just look for a channel to read? Because as you guys may know, I'm streaming every Wednesday from 8 p.m. Paris time to midnight, and it's almost midnight. Also, Randy left. So if you guys have extra questions, feel free to drop them now. If not, we're going to look for a raid. And now that Riftbound is out in the wild, I'm certain we'll find a cool Riftbound channel to raid. Discussions and different approaches are always nice to listen. I'm to be fair, I'm like missing out on time. I would love to run a podcast on like the competitive formats of Riftbound. That's something that I have somewhere in my head, but like I'm missing time to run it properly, and I don't want to do it half-assed because like if I do it, I'm bringing guests, and I don't want to waste their time. So like, if I'm doing something like qualitative content wise, and so that means time, and I don't have it as of now, but I'll think about it. Also, we did have an opening at the beginning of the stream, so if some of you are interested in seeing openings, you can go check the votes. Obviously, everything's up on YouTube, on the YouTube vote channel by tomorrow. And if we're done with this one, thanks for being here. Feel free to drop follows if you enjoy competitive Riftbound. And with that being said, I'll be looking for a raid that we could see. So who else is live Riftbounding? Riftbound gameplay. Title. I'm trying to find someone talking either media or whatever. Preparing brain for Houston. Okay, that could be it. That's definitely it, no. How about we raid Tiresidown? That guy seems to be preparing for Riftbound. Thanks a lot for the support tonight, by the way. We had a lot of follows, and we are going to try and do some more content with guests and stuff, and that's going to be cool. Feel free to join the raid to support Tiresidown. It was a tremendous time. Feel free to drop the YouTube channel. You can go !YouTube in the chat to have access to the VOD channel, the gameplay channel, and the main channel. I hope I see you on upcoming streams too. And with that being said, I hope you had a great time. I did have an amazing one. I will posting the edited version of this whole kind of content if you did just land. So like, hope you had a great time. It was nice seeing you guys. I'm coming back at you next week with like what we usually do, being talking rogue decks, trying to build them, talking format, lists, and basically we'll see what we do next week. Thank you for being here. It was amazing. Thank you for the support. We had such a great time. It was amazing. So see you next week or on YouTube during the week. Bye bye everyone.